is closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the Bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Live at the Bike, the first and only webcast of real action cash game poker. My name is Bart Hansen. Tonight, I am joined by the ever-lovable David Tuckman in a Syracuse University t-shirt, respecting my alma mater, and our buddy Kev Mapp, who starts the 2+2 forum on this show every night.
Yes.
Dave, tonight we're going to be doing our big no-limit game, as we normally do on Friday nights. It is a $1,000 minimum game. The blinds for this game are 10 and 20. And we have some of the usual characters on the game, including Jesus.
And we have Patrick tonight as well.
And Patrick. Jesus
game.
And Patrick. Game on.
Yeah, the game is definitely on.
Game on, game on. Well, let's get right to it.
Let's.
Here we go.
Quick intro here. We've got in seat one, we have the other ever-lovable person here.
Yep.
We got Mo. There you go. And just so you guys know at home, the yellow chips are $5 chips. The red chips you see there, those are actually $10 chips.
Those people that watch the 30-60 shows that we've had sometimes on Wednesdays, I don't know why they have these chips on the table tonight, but they're $10 chips.
Yeah, infiltrators.
Yep.
The purple chips are $25 chips, and the white chips you'll see, those will be $100 chips.
Yep.
Seat two there, the hairy fellow there, that's Jason. And seat three is going to be Patrick. He's taking a break, and there he is, the ever-lovable Patrick. Seat four, we've got Mark. There we go. Seat five, we have Jesus. There he is, Jesus.
The dude.
Jesus loves Tuckman. He's wearing my favorite hat. Seat six, we've got Barry Woods. He came over to me actually to make sure that we know his last name. So it's Mr. Woods, no relation to James.
Or Barry Greenstein, for that matter.
Exactly. It's just Barry Woods. Seat seven, we've got Rod. There he is, Rod. Seat eight, we've got Jim. There he is. And seat 10, we've got Ali.
Well, of course, it's a cash game, so seat 9. But it's all good, Dave. We'll have you have that.
Oh,
no mistake.
Thank you. and seat 10, we've got the dealer. There it is. Okay.
This is going to be a spicy game. All we need is Mike from the blackjack section coming in later on tonight.
Yeah.
And we're going to have some crazy action. I mean, you got Jesus, you got Patrick, two kind of insane players. You got Mo, who, of course, we'd always put our money on Mo, that he's going to be the big winner. A couple of new faces in there. I mean, I think the guy in seat 4 was here last week.
Yeah, Mark was. Mark's the guy that had the
he moved
tough luck hand.
Yeah, he moved in with a nut straight, and Mo had flopped a flush and lost all his chips.
And Mark played great for about 3 hours, and then one hand just bit him in the ass.
So again, bear with us tonight. I don't know why they have those $10 chips on the table, but we'll try to do the best that we can. So 20 chip denomination of 10 is 200. A stack of purple is 500.
And a stack of yellow is obviously 100.
And a stack of yellow is 100.
Right.
A stack of white is 2,000. So
I like the red chips. It makes it a little easier for me.
Well,
I'm kind of a Dewey Decimal kind of guy. You know, I work in tens very well.
Yeah. I believe that seat 3 made it 80.
Patrick's raised it to 80 with 4-3 offsuit.
Yep.
His standards are going up.
And look at this. Jesus has called it the King 5 offsuit from seat 5. And Mo's got pocket 7. So we're going to see three-way action here. 10-8 King. Jesus has hit top pair. And you know what, Dave? We know that that's good enough for him to pretty much move all in with the 5 kicker.
I'm not sure if Jesus knows Patrick yet.
Patrick is bet 400. And look at this. Just like I said it, he's going to move in all over the top with King 5. And who says Hold'em is a kicker game, Dave?
Yeah, well done there.
And he shows the 5. He shows the 5. He doesn't show the king, he shows the 5.
Yeah, I was wondering if Jesus actually knew Patrick or not, because obviously most of the players at the table are aware of
Take a look at
Patrick.
Everyone else laughing on the table. Oh, Dave, this is going to be quite the night.
Well, Patrick actually, the 5 actually beats Patrick's hand.
Yeah.
Patrick had 4 high.
Right. So if you want to follow a live thread here, You can go to 2plus2.com, spelled out. Click on Tournament Poker, World Poker Tour, and other televised tournaments. Click on the official Live at the Bike thread for August 12th.
Yeah, I had myself some Speedy sauce before I came in, so I'm feeling really good.
Did you ever look that up, or you're just kidding?
I'm kidding.
Still, no one's made a mention of that to me. No one's got to represent the upstate New York love. We got a family pot here. 7-7 Jack on the flop. Looks like Mo's got Queen Jack. And Jesus has got a 7. Oh boy. Let's see how he plays it.
Now
he's going to bet right into the trips.
I like the bet.
He bets, looks like 150.
And Mo quickly throws away his jack.
And look at this. Patrick's going to call with pocket sixes.
And look at the difference. Look at Mo. Look at his instincts.
The turn is a 9. Now Jesus is filled up. Patrick is drawing totally dead. And Jesus is bet 300, and Patrick's going to make the check call. Dave, we've got over $1,000 pot already. And look at this. The river is a 6. Both players have full houses. Patrick moves all in. And I'm sure Jesus is going to call, and he does. And Patrick has gone down. He's busted. Wow. That is unbelievable right off the bat. And look at Mo take a little glance at the webcam. Wow. Oh.
Wow. This is like two heavyweight fighters, but it's like kind of like the heavyweight fighters that are going on now.
Yeah.
But that was...
And we'll just try to get some sort of confirmation about how much Patrick put in there. It looked like an additional, I don't know,
at least $1,500,
$1,500. I mean, that pot alone was $3,000 or $4,000 right there.
We're talking about a $4,000 pot there.
Jeez.
You're right on there.
Yep.
And look at the difference in the instincts there. Great play by Jesus. He bets right in with trips. Mo was smart enough to know, you know what, he's got a pair of jacks there.
Right.
But instead of chasing, instead of thinking, maybe I'm good, he throws it away. He picks a spot better. But Patrick traps himself.
Yep.
Jesus didn't even try to trap him.
Yep.
Just bet and bet and bet. Wow.
No, at that point, the only thing that could have beat Jesus was, the Jack 7, right? Or pocket jacks.
Or, pocket 9s, theoretically.
It was 7-7-9 on
Yeah.
Oh, right.
But very little hands there.
Right.
Patrick was drawing dead once the 9 came out, though.
And I don't know how much Patrick bought in for. We'll give that $2,000. $2,000 he bought in for.
Wow. And once again, Mo shows why he is so good at this game.
Yep.
He is... I mean, obviously I'm friends with the guy, but I got to tell you, if Daniel Negreanu and Phil Ivey and Howard Lederer are these great TV stars, he has got to be a cash game star. Really fabulous poker.
Patrick has raised here out of the big blind. It was limped around. And he's raised to 120 with ace-10 offsuit. And let's see if Jesus is in a gambling mood here with the ace-deuce. He makes the call. Ali's going to come in with 8-9 from out back on seat 9. And it looks like Mo's in there with pocket 3s. So we got a 4-way pot, $500 already coming to the flop.
Well, Mo's looking at Jesus' stack and he's looking at Patrick's stack and he goes, well, if I can flop a 3, maybe I can...
Yeah. I mean, if an ace comes out and he hits a 3, he could have all of two people's money.
Yeah, very, very easily.
Here we go to the flop. Queen 9-5, 3 flush, all spades. Patrick has the ace of spades in his hand, the original raiser, and he's going to lead at it. And I don't think anyone can call here, Dave.
No, I can't imagine.
Yep.
Ollie's actually got the best hand right now, but that's a difficult call.
He doesn't have a spade in his hand. No, he's going to muck it. And Patrick is going to take it down.
And I'll give credit to Patrick one thing. You know what? Some people, when they get knocked out like that and they lose a quick $2,000 pot, $4,000 pot, sorry, most people will, kind of take a step backwards. They slow down a little. No, Patrick gets up and he keeps punching.
Yep.
Wow.
So we're going to have a chip count. This is what we all started with. Now, of course, Barry Wood likes to cover the entire table. He started with 5,000. Jesus started with 3,700. Patrick only had 1,800, so Jesus has at least over 5,500 now because he has all of Patrick's money.
Right.
And there really hasn't been any other movement. on the first couple of hands. So there we go. And Mo, he's got about 2,200. See, I wonder why Mo, you know, if I was Mo, I would like to cover Jesus. I mean, that was just my opinion, Dave.
Well, right before the webcast started, Jesus actually, I think, did buy in for 1,500.
Yeah.
I think he won a few pots before we even started.
Yep.
We might see Mo rebuy.
And now it makes sense to me, actually, why they're using the brown chips, Dave, because the blinds are 10-20 as opposed to 5-10.
There we go.
So it makes a little sense. But, I mean, they still have yellow chips on the table, so that's a little strange. But
with the blinds being 10-20, there really shouldn't even be yellow chips on the table.
Right. Barry has bet 150. He's got top and bottom pair there. King 3.
Nobody else has much of anything
no,
here.
He's going to take it down.
It's a scary board, though. A couple of clubs. Top and bottom is certainly vulnerable. Not a bad move. Just take it down right there.
We're going to have to get that hat in here at some point tonight.
And Patrick was our big winner a couple of weeks ago in that in the $5,000 freeze out.
Right.
And he won $50,000 in that.
Yeah.
So
I have yet to really figure out Patrick. I just think he's a pure gambler, kind of like Jesus. I don't really know if he. I mean, the one thing I can say about him. Oh, look at this hand. The one thing I can say about him, Dave, is he does bet his good and his bad hands. We have pocket tens, pocket jacks, and pocket queens in this hand.
Yeah, Patrick's got tens.
And seat 8 has raised with jacks. Jim has raised with jacks. Ali has re-raised with pocket queens. 80. Now it's 200 total straight, I think, Dave.
Let's see what Patrick does here at tens.
Let's see if Patrick makes a smooth call here or what. Mark mucks out of turn there in the small blind, seat 4. And he's going to... I could have sworn he said raise there, Dave. And he is going to raise. He's going to re-raise to 500.
Wow. Hey, well, that's going to put a lot of pressure on Jim there. What do you do with your jacks? Because you have to worry about Ali behind you here.
Yep. Tens, jacks, and queens.
I got to tell you,
jacks goes in the muck.
That's a nice laydown.
Yeah. Now, the thing about queens, though, Dave, is that I might take this all in against Patrick because he could be doing this with any number of hands.
Without a doubt.
But he's going to smooth call here.
Because what do you do if an ace or a king flop here?
So we've got about a $1,300 pot to the flop. And there's an ace.
And there it is. Now what do you do?
Now, is Ali going to check fold?
Wow, it's check.
Wow, check here. The turn is a 5. Now Ali's got the queen of spades in his hand. 3 spades, it goes check. Patrick checks. And the river's a 9. I'm really surprised that Patrick played the hand this way. And it gets checked down. And Ali's going to take it down there with queens. Wow.
Well, I think once Patrick got called, Patrick is a gambler, but I think he realized, wow, this guy's got something.
Yep.
And I think he knew that Ali was going to call him. But that's one of those times, and I agree with you, had Ali moved in right there with the queens, he would have doubled up completely. He would have gotten Patrick definitely going to call with tens. He's not going anywhere. Nice laydown there by Jim. Real nice laydown. Yeah. Some players cannot get away from jacks. And when you raise, you get re-raised, and then re-raised again, you got to realize the jacks are no good.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, sometimes the proper laydown for Ali might have been against a tighter player to lay down queens in that spot. A lot of the times.
Oh, without a doubt.
But
against most players, you'd lay down the queens there. Yeah.
But against Patrick, I think I might have just pushed all in at that point. But,
I agree with you.
You know. I mean, it's the same thing against Mike, the guy Mike, the bald head who works in the blackjack section. Same type of thing. He's gonna call you with ace king, and I'll take. I mean, if you get the money for the game, you want to take those edges.
Yeah. No,
ace 3-2 on the flop here. Jim has got a second pair. He's gonna bet 50. But Jason has. Let's see here, Jason. Oh, I guess Jason's not in the hand. Pocket nines. Guess he folded the pocket nines. So here we go. Got called in a few spots. Oh, the turn is a 6. That gives Jim 2 pair.
Well, there was a bet. I think he saw the flop, and then when he saw the ace, he threw it away.
Yeah. And Jim is going to continue to lead here.
Well, he's got 2 pair now.
Yep. And Patrick and Jesus are just both chasing wheel draws there. And he's going to take it down.
There we go. There's a close-up of the chips there. $25 chips, purple. White ones are 100. The red-orange ones are 10. And you see that little yellow one, that obviously is a $5 chip.
I don't know what that blue chip is. It might be from another casino or just some, you know,
lucky.
It's not a chip that's here at the bike.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of a card protector type thing.
You know, the funny thing, before I actually moved out here, that at least in Southern California, Dave, all of the card rooms, that you can actually use different card rooms chips in each other's card rooms. They're poker chips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they do that in Vegas too.
Well, with the same companies, but not everywhere, right?
Well, no. Generally speaking, they'll take if you go to the Bellagio and you want to, and you have a Mirage chip, they'll
cash it.
They'll cash it. They'll let you play with them at least.
Yeah. Seat number 5, I believe, raised here with Ace-7 offsuit, and Patrick's going to call with a Jack-8. So we're heads up, the two monsters. Jack-3-5 on the flop. Patrick's picked up top pair. And I think it goes check here, Dave. Well, Jesus is, he's playing with some sense tonight. Check again. And a 9 comes on the river, and now Patrick, he just checks his Jack down there. Wow. And he's going to take it down.
Believe it or not, I actually think Patrick, maybe he was trying to trap it first.
Yeah.
And then in the river, he just said, forget it. I'll just...
Yeah.
Kind of an odd way to play that hand. Jesus' game has actually improved over the last month, I think. He's still that gambler. He's still kind of reckless. He's still scary.
Yeah.
But he's kind of reined it in a little bit. And been a little more productive. But get ready for a wild ride tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
Friday night poker at the bike.
This is going to be crazy. Absolutely crazy.
We have our Legends of Poker tournament going on right now, and today's tournament started at 4:15. Was a $500 buy-in stud high-low 8 or better tournament. When we get the specifics on that, we'll let you know. Tomorrow's tournament is also a $500 buy-in, and it's a limit hold'em. Starts at 4:15 p.m.
Well, we got a family pot here, 7-way action, limped around. It's a $70 pot. Deuce 6-5. Jason's flopped bottom set here in seat 2. Barry's got top pair. Jason is going to immediately bet on the set, Dave.
You got to bet that board.
And Barry's going to make the call. Now, when you're thinking, and this happened to me today, when I bet on a bottom set with this type of board, what is this guy calling with in position? It's a rainbow board.
Right.
Does he have a straight draw? The turn is a 7. Now, if he had 3-4, he made it. But he's not going to play it weak, I'm sure.
Right. Well, if he had 3-4, he was actually there already.
That's what Oh, exactly. He had flopped it.
Yeah, he already flopped already.
Yeah. It was a $200 bet there. And it looked like Barry is thinking here.
Yeah, Barry's actually drawing dead.
Yeah. If he had 3-4, would the guy be trapping me? Did he call with a pair and a gut shot, something like that? That could have been.
Without a doubt, right. 6-5. Oh, well,
right.
6-5.
Yeah.
5-4 type
5-4
hand, right.
or something like that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Or even top pair. And in this case, Barry called him a top pair, but now...
Well, if Barry's just going to call, now what do you think about deuces? It's kind of strange how this hand is playing out. And now we see the river. Oh, the river is an 8, and that's going to be one of the worst cards you could see for pocket deuces. And Barry just checks it down, though. Well, it's great that the guy in position just lets you check it down and you win with your set. Wow.
I think maybe, Barry was hoping this guy had 5-4 himself.
Yeah.
And then when the river comes out, he goes, I can't beat anything anymore.
Boy, what a bad run of cards there on the turn in the river for bottom set.
Yeah.
Dave, it was kind of like a
worse
situation.
and worse and worse.
You came over to me in the 200 game. And there are actually a couple of fans on the show playing in the game. I flopped bottom set, Dave. The flop was King 10-3. 2 diamonds. Guy bet. I raised. I get a caller behind me, and the original guy who bet called. The turn is the 9 of diamonds.
Yeah, the single worst card you possibly can come.
I move all in. I get 2 callers. The river's a queen.
Oh.
The board is now king, queen, 10, 9, 3 diamonds. And my set of 3s was actually good.
Wow.
Guy bet with ace king. The other guy called with top 2 pairs. Just crazy. Craziness. Patrick is going to raise here to 120. He has deuce 3 suited. Jesus is called with a king 8 of hearts. He's got Patrick dominated in the hearts department. Barry's in there with pocket 9s from the cutoff. And we are going to see 3-way action. And if hearts comes,
now,
Jesus is going to have Patrick's number again.
What is it Barry... this is one of those cases that the pot's big enough. What is it Barry throws in a $400 raise there?
Yeah.
Because now what do you do with pocket 9s, even though you're good?
Ace 5 6. Well, he has the best hand. Jim is not in the hand over there in seat 8. Well, how about if it gets checked to you now? Now what does Barry do?
Oh, it gets checked to you. You got to bet it. It's only 1 overcard.
And I believe it did get checked to Barry here.
Now, I'm a big advocate for oftentimes just smooth calling with those middle pairs and seeing the flop for cheap. But when Patrick is raising, I don't mind isolating him, especially when I have position on him.
Now, Barry's bet the size of the pot.
Nice bet here, bud.
And he's probably going to take it down. Well, Dave, we were talking about the strategy of playing specifically on this table with Jesus and Patrick, and you were talking about, well, if I start off with $1,500 or $2,000, first of all, I got to be comfortable with the size of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Got to be probably willing to lose 2 or 3 buy-ins, okay? And your best strategy, like you said, is against those 2 guys, maybe to move in with something like 9s, 10s, or higher every single time pre-flop.
Well, I mean,
right?
yeah, I mean, I don't want to play big pots when I only have a small edge versus them.
Uh-huh.
But I certainly don't mind if Patrick's going to raise with deuce 3, and I know that, and I get a limp caller in there like with Jesus. Mm-hmm. The pot's already $400. If I raise it up to $500, I'm probably going to lose Jesus. Maybe Patrick calls, maybe he folds, and I just take the $400 or $500 profit.
Yeah.
Pocket 9 is a premium hand. You got to be able to push it. I agree with you.
Seat 3 is straddling. Of course, it's Patrick. Or yeah, it's Patrick there, and he's got 10-3 suited. Well, seat 4's got ace queen. He's just going to call under the what is under the gun in this
pretty much,
sense,
yeah,
with the ace queen offsuit. Jesus is going to call. Barry's going to call. Barry's got jack 9 of diamonds. I like that hand in position and no limit.
No, that's a hand I don't want to raise. I don't want to isolate him and
Yeah.
jack 9 of diamonds.
And here we go. So 40 times 5. We already have a $200 pot. Jack, queen, 4, 2 hearts. Mark there in seat 4. He's got the best hand here with ace, queen. And he's going to bet. Now, Mark did play it pretty solidly. He just seemed to get a little bit unlucky last week. Pretty straightforward player. He's going to bet the size of the pot.
Yeah, he's a solid player. And against a real good player like Mo, he got trapped and lost a big pot. But against against lesser players, he can definitely take advantage of.
Now, Barry, this is the type of hand that I think I'd want to get away from, Dave, with a couple people behind me, too.
Even if you hit your 9,
Jack
you're not
9.
sure if it's good. Because think about it. Let's say the guy was betting king 10. He was betting it open-ended. And you hit your 9, well, then you might be trapping yourself.
Yep.
Sometimes people forget. They go, well, maybe I can hit 2 pair, and they forget what kind of hands might my opponent have.
And he takes it down there with the ace-queen.
That's a $200 pot. Remember, we are playing 10, 20 blinds, so these pots are, somewhere between $80 to $200, $300 before the flop even hits.
We will find out. We all will find out.
Got a raise here to $100, and Mo's going to call on the button. He's got pocket deuces. And Jesus was the raiser with Queen 9 suited. So here we go. And look at this. Patrick's made the call 4-7 offsuit. And we are 3 ways. Jack 8-5. Now, Mo has the best hand here, Dave. We talk about Mo's great poker sense. Let's see if somebody makes continuation type bet. And it looked like Jesus bet and Mo raised there, Dave. Look at that. That's just exactly what we talk about. Mo's going to raise with the pocket deuces, and he's going to take it down.
He's clearly got a read on Jesus. I mean, Jesus bets with trips, and Mo folds top pair.
Right.
And now Jesus bets, and Mo raises him with pocket deuces.
Yeah, you are playing start. Mexican poker. No, Mexican poker.
And that is just, like I said, I mean, it's just great poker instincts. Like you said, he's got a read.
Well, he's obviously got a read. I'm really well done. Well played. And one thing about Mo's game is I've seen him play against world-class players. I mean, we've had Gabe Kaplan in here and TJ Cloutier play in this game, and Doyle Brunson has played in this game. We've had numerous people play in this game, and Mo more than holds his own against some of the top players in the world. And he's done quite well in a few tournaments as well. He just doesn't play that many tournaments. While TJ Cloutier plays maybe 200 no-limit tournaments a year, I think Mo maybe plays 10. And he obviously makes his living playing cash games.
Right. Now, Jesus is raised here again to 100. It looks like he's got pocket 9s, and they're heads up against Patrick, deuce 5. Jack 6.
Not a bad flop for pocket 9s.
And Jesus is going to bet.
I like the bet there. And it's a strange call there by Patrick. To call with deuce 5 for what?
Yeah,
so you can hit your deuce? I mean, just an odd play. I agree with what you said about Patrick. He's the ultimate gunslinger. Just a gambler.
I was, how we were talking about how we've been reading Barry Greenstein's book, and he actually had a section on, say, compulsive gambler poker player type or action junkie poker player type, where they play a lot of hands because they are of the mindset of, what if the flop comes, in that case, deuce 5? I've lost all that action.
Right.
Now, I'm not calling, Patrick exactly, an action junkie, but it kind of, relates to a lot of people that just play a lot of hands, and maybe they fear that they could always win a big pot on every flop.
Well, they're scared of what they're going to miss.
Exactly, they're scared of what they're going to miss. Right.
He was referring to sports gambling. Right. It's kind of like, you've got a feeling that maybe a football team's going to win, and if I don't bet it and they do win, I could have won what could have been.
Yeah. Patrick is raised here with pocket 6s. He gets a call there by Mark and by Jesus. 8, 9, 10. So both jacks, Dave, are open-ended. Ace-jack and king-jack. The turn is a king. Now Jesus has top pair in an open-ended straight draw. And if Jesus makes the queen, it's going to get chopped. But if he had made the queen before that king came, he would have had the nut straight. But it looks like Mark is going into chips here. No, he's going to check it. He's shut down. And Jesus bets 400.
Nice bet there by Jesus. Couple of hearts out there. Obviously a straight draw out there. He's pretty sure he's got the best hands. And this is actually a pretty easy fold by Mark.
I am open-ended. You show me one, I show you one. Go.
And look at that. Mark shows him the jack, so Jesus shows him his jack.
I think it comes back to a lot of, of how you do in this game, Dave.
Show the river, show the river.
Can directly correlate to how much confidence you have in your own play. I have to say that if Mo was in the small blind and Patrick raised on the button, he probably would have popped him over the top. He would have felt confident that he could outplay him out of position in that spot. With the ace-jack. Now, Mark just smooth calls there, and he just kind of puts himself... obviously, ace-jack offsuit is a tough
Right. Well, you can see players that are scared to almost a little unsure of themselves, a
Right.
little scared of losing the money,
Right.
and that small bit of uncertainty changes their game.
Got a straddle here by seat number 7. That's Rod. And we haven't really heard anything from Rod tonight.
Yeah, Rod.
So,
Rod's kind of like, I mean, obviously, I don't think his face looks like him, but just from this view, he kind of looks like a John D'Agostino lookalike.
and Jesus looks like he's raised.
That's a nice raise by
I believe
Jesus.
he is raised to 130. And he has Jack 10 of hearts there. It's 230 there, Dave.
$230. And Jesus actually has an ace high here. Not a very good hand, but in a straddled pot, he has the button. Actually, I'm sorry, he's in the small blind. He thinks maybe he can take it down. And look at that, he does take it down.
And he's going to take it down. And he actually has the ace 4 there, Dave. I said
Yeah.
it was Jack 10, actually ace 4 offsuit. So he had the best hand.
And that's a play there. Oftentimes, if somebody's straddling, you can lower your raising requirements. Especially, I mean, that pot's it's a $110 pot before anybody's even in there. And watch out, here it is. Patrick's got a monster.
Pocket 8s.
Well, that's a monster for him, right?
Oh, it looks like he's made it 125. And JLT's coming in there with 5-6 offsuit, it looks like, from the button. And he does. Barry's going to make the call with King 10 suited. Rod, he had a suited connector, but I believe, well, he's going to make the call.
I don't mind that call here in a multi-way pot. 7-8 of hearts is not bad. He's out of position, though.
Yeah. Now, Jim has Jack 4. I don't really know what he's thinking about. Jack 4 of diamonds. I think he just wants to get in the action, too, there, Dave. And look, he's going to make the call.
Hey, well, sometimes action is contagious. Everybody
Mo's
wants
got
in that.
Queen 9 of clubs. He makes the call. Mo's in real bad shape here, though, if he hits any of his stuff.
Hey, how about if you're Jason, you just move all in?
I got to be honest with you. I might fold King Queen offsuit in this spot, Dave, because it's really tough multi-way, unsuited.
Yeah.
No,
without a doubt, it doesn't
it's-
play well in a multi-way pot.
Yeah.
No,
We've
even
got 7-way action times 125. So that's about an $875 pot. Here we go to the flop, 6 Jack 8. Okay, well, Jim's flop top pair. What does he do? He's got Jack 4.
Yeah, but Patrick's
And
flopped a set
Patrick's
of
flopped a
eights.
set.
Wow.
And Patrick's going to move. He says, forget about slow playing.
You know what?
He spent $1,100.
You know what? Into a $900 pot. That's not a bad play by Patrick, because the
Right.
way Patrick's image is, if
Yeah.
somebody has a jack, they might call him.
Well, let's see what happens when it comes back to Jim.
Now, Jim's got a pretty crappy jack, so.
Yeah. But it's like he called the pre-flop.
Yeah.
Now you see Patrick. What is Jim going to do?
I think Patrick's just hoping somebody has queen jack, king jack, or ace jack.
And look at Rod. He's still thinking. He's got second pair, backdoor heart draw.
Patrick's liable to do this with any hand.
Yeah. Oh, Jim just mucks it like it was nothing, though, Dave. It wasn't a big decision. And Patrick takes it down. Give credit to Patrick there. And that's the thing that I like about Patrick's game, Dave, like we talked about before, that he will drive his bad hands as well as his good hands. And I have never really seen him say check or slow play. Really anything. And not that I can ever remember.
Yeah, I mean, he'll slow play the nuts, probably a
Right.
hand, but when Patrick goes on a rush, he can be scary to deal with because he's unpredictable. Tough to put on a hand, obviously.
Absolutely.
If he would just be able to change gears once in a while,
Yeah.
he'd be a lot more successful. The problem is he only has one gear, and it just, full speed ahead all the time. And another problem he has, and this is a money management problem, is obviously when he's tilting or he's steaming,
Yeah.
he just burns chips. He just throws it. He might as well just put them on fire.
Six-way action here.
Any queens?
Wow, Rod has picked up trip queens. Seat 7. Queen 7, queen. Couple of clubs out there. Oh, he actually only has a jack there. We had it up as a queen, so no one has a queen there, Dave.
Jack 10, queen 10, what's the difference?
The turn is an 8.
50 is the bet.
And Jim here, he's going to bet with the king 7. And Ali has called here with ace 8.
Yeah, Jim waited at one hand too.
Yeah.
He was in late position. He really should have bet on the flop.
Well, I think he's in the blind there, Dave. He's a small blind, so there you go.
Oh, okay. So he checked to see what happened.
Yeah. The turn is a 3. The river is a 3. 3 clubs. Third club on board.
And
And it
Ali's going
just
to
gets
take it
checked
down.
down. Yeah, ace 8's good. So things have slowed down a little bit here,
Yeah.
but not for long, I'm sure.
No,
Not for
I
long.
wouldn't bet on it.
Oh, Sunday's $500 ball.
Once again, we are live at the bike. I'm David Tuckman. I'm here with Bart Hansen. We're watching a no-limit hold'em game, 10-20 blinds. Minimum buy-in is $1,000, but most players have much more than $1,000 on the table.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Barry has 5,000. He's the he's the one that's got the most in front of him.
And Jesus has got about 5,000 now too, right?
Actually, that
And Barry started with the most, but Jesus is probably up there,
Yeah.
right close to him.
one on Sunday.
Pot was limped around. King 8-10, couple of clubs. Jesus has a flush draw. Seat 5.
$1,000 buy-in, $108,000 or $200,000.
125.
And he's going to bet 125 here, Dave. And the only person that really picked a piece of this flop up was Ali, and he mucks, and Jesus is going to take it down with that semi-bluff.
Well, I'd love to be playing in this game, but I guess the next best thing is at least commentating it, talking about it.
How long is each level?
Yeah, it's 40 minutes.
45. Yeah. 40 minutes to stand by. It'd be 45. Half an hour.
Dave, you were telling me that you picked up your copy of Madden 2006 today.
Yeah. Very excited. My wife is going out of town for about 3 weeks.
Oh, there you go.
And I'm all prepared.
Maybe you can give all the viewers out there information as to how to, to play you like on a network.
Oh, without a doubt.
No, I'm
Without a
saying.
doubt.
Family pot here, limped around. 9-3-5, 2 spades on board.
Bunch of gut shots out there.
Jesus has a pair.
Now, Barry here actually has a double gutter.
Well,
An
Jesus,
8 or a 4 will give him a straight. Sometimes it's hard to see those.
Jesus has bet 125 with the king 5. Well, Barry mucks.
Yeah,
Again,
I was going to say,
Dave-
I wonder if Barry saw it.
Well, the same principle applies to chasing an open-ended straight draw with the 2 flush out there. Is that, boy, if you're going to chase a draw, you'd like to know if your hand's good if you hit it. Now, if a third spade comes out,
Without a
it's
doubt.
straight
No,
card
without a
and
doubt.
stuff.
It's hard to give credit to Jesus or Patrick when they're betting.
Yeah.
And for $125, I might want to see one more card.
Of course, the problem was that Barry had about at least 5 people behind him. So
Right.
if someone was on a spade draw, again, he's
Yeah.
really only drawing a 6 clean outs that he could make a lot of money off of, or he would at least know would be good.
No, without a doubt.
Situation.
I might even raise that situation, though. Isolate Jesus in that case,
Looks
especially
like,
because Jesus has. I have $5,000 in chips, and so does Jesus. Hey,
Looks like Patrick has pocket 5s, and Mark in seat 4 has pocket 5s. Interesting.
Well, they have the best hand now, but they're probably not going to improve
Probably not
much.
going to hit their set. And once again, we say a family pot. But Patrick is going to raise, it looks like. He was either in the straddle position or in the big blind. He was the straddler. And look at this. Mark moves over the top with pocket fives, figuring, I have a pair, I'm going to knock everyone else beside me, and I'm going to gamble it up here with Patrick a little bit.
I love the play. I love the play. I would have hated the call, and I love that play. Mark figures his hand is the best, and he might win this.
So Patrick had raised to 200. Mark re-raises probably to about 800 more, I believe. And obviously, we can see no one's going to call here. So he's represented the limp re-raise.
Exactly, and let's see what Patrick does.
Everyone knows Mark. I mean, he's really representing aces or kings here.
Oh, without a doubt.
If I had ace-king, I'd lay that down in a second to what Mark has done. And actually, I believe that Patrick made the call. And the flop is 6-6-3. The turn is a deuce, and the river's a deuce. And when they both turn over pocket fives, that's got to be pretty funny.
And Patrick chuckles there.
Look at he's going to slow roll for a chop.
Oh my God! Yeah, what is he talking about? Chop it up.
And Mark must have gotten sick when Patrick called him, but when he sees that flop, he goes, wait a second, I'm not bad here.
Yeah, maybe, a couple of, ace queen, something like that.
And against anybody else, I mean, nobody else is going to call that with pocket fives. And nice play by Mark, though.
Of course not.
Wow, that's just sick. That's crazy. 5 minute game the other night.
And it's funny, the Bicycle Casino, we refer to those red chips, those reddish chips, as brown chips. They don't look brown to me.
Yeah, that's what we call the 30 game, the brown chip game.
Yeah,
30 and 40 game are brown chip games.
Look brown to you?
I go all in. This guy over here, he goes all in.
Kind of chocolatey, I guess.
Pocket aces, pocket aces, pocket.
Chocolate.
Chocolatey, chocolate chips. I think what they used to call those chips in Vegas, the $5,000 chips when they were doing the blackjack scams, when the first people started to move up to the chocolate games and rip off the chocolate chips like their $5,000
Really?
chips. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, in a 9-10 inning, yeah, you'll see it a lot. 5 innings, you'll see it.
Although I don't know if every casino has got a constant color for chips. I mean, I know they don't here in LA. I don't know in Vegas if it works the same.
Well, Vegas traditionally, I mean, like black chips are traditionally $100 chips in Vegas.
Yeah.
And so forth. So they try to keep it, I think, relatively same.
Jesus is raised here to 80. He has king queen suited. Mo's going to call with pocket sevens. And we told you that Mo has really got Jesus' number tonight. Let's see if Patrick comes in with a 9-6 offsuit here. Yeah, it looks like he is.
So this is the part of the game. I mean, I love Patrick's. I love the way that you have no idea what he has.
Right.
He's unpredictable. But this is where he loses his equity. Just falling
set
raises.
right off the bat for Mo. Jack 4-7. And Jesus is going to bet. Let's see if Mo slow plays here a bit. Nope, he's going to raise. He's hoping Jesus might have an overpair there, Dave. Or that Patrick might have picked something up on the flop. And of course, it's making it look like that Mo's making it look like I've been picking on Jesus all night, and Jesus makes the call.
Well, Mo set this play up.
And the turn is a king, and Jesus is in big trouble. I believe Jesus is checked. And Mo is bet. He's bet 500, and look at this. Jesus has moved all in, and Mo has him. Mo has him.
And the one thing that's kind of interesting.
And he makes the call. And the river is a 4, and Mo fills up.
Yeah, Jesus was actually drawing dead there on the turn.
Yeah.
Wow. And like you said, Mo should have had enough money to cover Jesus, huh?
I think that Mo had a couple thousand. I think he had a couple thousand less, actually, though. I think he had 24 or 2,500.
Right, yeah.
And Jesus had 50. Jesus should be left with about 2,000 left, I believe, after this, if I can do the math out. Unless
count
Mo
that.
rebought back in before and we didn't realize it.
Well, I don't think so.
Yeah, so Jesus has maybe about 1,500 left there.
Yeah, and
but
that's-
anyways, Mo wins about 3,000, 2,500 or 3,000
Yeah.
off of Jesus. Just like that. Wow. Unbelievable.
And you see how Mo set the play up about a half hour earlier.
Right.
Jesus bets, and Mo comes over the top with pocket deuces. And
Right.
Jesus throws his hand away, reluctantly, but he throws it away.
Right.
Well, now this time, Mo said, okay, I'm going to play it the same exact way.
Right. And this time I really have something. And
Exactly.
Jesus calls with nothing on the flop. It's top pair on the turn. And then just and basically check raises Mo all in with just king queen.
Well, this time, Mo's picked up pocket queens now. Back to back here. A lot of pocket pairs here, guys.
Pocket jacks there for C2, and I believe that Jesus has brought this one in for a raise.
Well, he's got eights.
140, 130 more.
And actually, Mo had queen jack, Dave, and he mucked it there, so it was a little confusing.
He had queen jack, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was queens.
So we've got a raise there by Jesus and a call by Jason and Patrick.
Well, that Jesus is the human roller coaster at this table. Up and down. He'll be like that all night.
I think that Patrick has re-raised here with the ace-10 out of the
He
small
has.
blind.
He's re-raised it to another $400. And Jesus has called with pocket eights, and now it's up to Jason, and Jason's trying to decide what
There
he's
we
going to
go.
do with Jackson. I'd move all in,
And
he's going to.
he's going to move all in here.
And Patrick's moving all in
Look
with
at
ace
this.
10.
Patrick's going to move in with ace-10. Oh, another pot, Dave, that's probably going to be somewhere around $3,000. And whatever, Jesus is in there with pocket eights. And look at Jason. He can't be pleased. He's got to think he's beat.
Oh, he got it.
Ace-10 against jacks against pocket eights. There's an ace.
Oh, wow.
7-9 ace on the flop. The turn is a king. Patrick has a flush draw now.
Oh, he's huge.
And the river is a 10. He makes aces up. And that is unbelievable. Take the whole pot.
And Patrick's he just won about a $3,500 pot.
Wow. Unbelievable, Dave.
I tell you, the action here is unbelievable. Where else can you have a $3,500 pot, people moving all in pre-flop with pocket eights, ace 10, and Jason at least had jacks. But wow. And Jason was, he must have thought he was in bad shape, but he was in great shape. There's only one overcard to his jacks.
Yeah, one overcard, the ace. Oh, wow. Incredible.
I tell you, get on a flight and come here and play poker. One pot will pay for your whole week in L.A.
And now I'm sure that Patrick's going to try to run over the table.
Well, let's see. That's what he loves to go on rushes.
And
He plays them.
see if Jesus is going to rebuy in here. Yep, he is.
And just when I was saying Jesus' game has really improved, he blows through $5,500 in about 3 minutes. Wow. And I can't fault the play of Jason there. I actually like the play with Jacks. Against those two opponents, I like that play.
Yep.
He just happened to get, the short end of the stick there.
Queen Jack, wow, the nuts.
I didn't even call. I get nuts. I do it. But I didn't.
Unbelievable.
No, I didn't call it back.
It really is.
100.
I didn't.
Sometimes I watch this game and I wonder if it's almost like people sit down in this game and they forget what the value of money is, which I guess is good for a poker player and it's great for the show. Wow. And Jesus just blew through $5,500 in literally 2 hands.
Well, don't talk too much crap. You might take the hat off.
No, hey, I love him. It's great. He just, unfortunately, I actually, over the last month, I've seen his game improve. But, the king-queen play obviously into Mo's set, and that play with pocket eights was obviously not very well thought out.
Jesus has raised to 100. We'll find out how much he rebought in there for, Dave. Probably. Well, it looks like only has a stack of purple. It'd be unlike him just to buy in for 500. So Jesus makes it 100. Look at this. Barry re-raises with king 3 offsuit. 250 to go. And Jesus calls. And we're going to see a flop. Ace 9 9.
Barry still has the best hand with king high.
Jesus checks. Look at Jesus fake out Barry like he's going to make the call.
And that's a classic.
He had the chips in his hand like he was going to call.
And that's a classic, I hope you don't bet move.
Yeah.
Anybody watching at home, if you're about to bet and you look over at your opponent and he's threatening the call with chips in his hands, generally speaking, that means he's going to fold because he has nothing. Now, obviously, if you get it to a tricky player, might mix it up on you and kind of give you reverse tells. But if you're playing against somebody who's a beginner, inexperienced, that's generally I don't want you to bet.
So, of course, if you want to follow a live thread, Dave, on 2+2, you can go to 2plus2.com, click on Tournament Poker, or click on Forums first, then click on Tournament Poker, World Poker Tour, and other televised tournaments. And there's a discussion going on right now about how much Jesus will lose for tonight's show. So we're at 5,500 right now. Well, he didn't start with that, but
right.
He's actually lost that amount over the last 20 minutes. I believe he started with somewhere. I think Evelyn will fill me in, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think he started with about $3,500.
3,700. I'm getting one.
There you go.
There we go. So he's lost 3,700 so far. Pot is limped around here. Ace 10.
Yeah, Jesus has got 2 pair here.
Well, he's got 10-9, but seat 7 on the button has Queen 10.
Oh, there you go.
But look at this. Mo is going to fire in with absolutely nothing. Mark's got pocket 3s.
And with all those players behind you, you cannot do anything with pocket 3s there.
Look at this. Jesus, I think he's going to move all in here. And he's going to probably get Rod off the hand, and he's going to take this one down because sure Mo will fold.
You know what? I think what's going to save Jesus here is actually Mo.
Right.
Rod can't make the call with Mo behind him.
Right. And Jesus has moved all in for 660. We're getting the amount. And, of course, Mo's not going to call.
Yeah.
So Jesus, by doing that, actually won himself this pot.
Nice, but if you're going to do it. But I think Rod is looking at it going, I think I have Jesus beat, but Mo's behind me.
And he shows the 10.
We're going to see it later. Well, we'll see it anyways. He's over there.
Jesus has actually, over the last few weeks, has actually come out of this game a winner. 1 week I remember he won $1,500. The following week he won a couple of thousand. And tonight, obviously, is off to a rough start, but we've got plenty of poker left.
Come here. Chips.
Oh, Jesus has, added a little more to his stack now. It's fun to see him with a lot of chips. Thousands, Dave.
Yeah,
but I'm sure he's going to push a couple times here.
Well, I'm sure we'll see him go up and down all night.
4 players.
We're going to see 4-way action here, limped around. Oh, somebody's flopped the flush. King 5-9, and it is seat number 7. And Jim here has bet with absolutely not. Well, he's got the 5. And Jesus is going to call with middle pair. Now, Rod's got a low flush, so how do you play it? Do you trap? Do you raise? I'm usually a pretty big proponent of raising, Dave.
Yeah, I think you have to raise this.
Yeah.
Because with 2 players in there, one of them very well might have the ace or queen of hearts.
And he is going to raise. So a $50 bet, a call in between, and he raises to 250, and Jesus and Jim both get out of the way. Oh, Allen's coming into the game in seat 8. Now, Of course, we talked about Allen. We've been hard on him, Dave, last couple weeks, but he did make a big laydown. I believe that was on Wednesday.
Yeah, he played great on Wednesday. He actually he won about $1,500 on Wednesday, and hopefully he can, for himself, he can build on that success.
And Allen is moving in there into seat 8. Looks like, I don't know how much he's going to buy in for him, but he usually buys in pretty short, Dave.
Yeah, well, this is a $1,000 buy-in game. Blinds are $10.20. I mean, $1,000 minimum buy-in game.
I heard that a couple times already.
So it is, in fact, Allen is going to buy him for the minimum right now. We have our lovely Donna going out and getting $600 more in chips for him.
Looks like Mo here is raised to 100 with ace 10. Now, again, the problem with Allen here is that, if you bought him for 5,000, you might make this call with 7-9 of spades, but when he only has 1,000,
yeah,
he's not going to make a $100 call. But Jesus makes a call with Jack 3. And Mo's going to bet here. That's a $200 bet, Dave. Stack of brown. And look at this. Jesus calls. Jack 3 against ace 10, and he spikes a 3. Again, Jack 3 against ace 10.
Well, Mo can't like his hand. He doesn't know he's up against Jack 3, obviously, but...
And Mo's going to bet 460 here. He's going to continue to push forward. And Jesus actually was the better. Excuse me. Jesus bet right off the bat.
Nice bet there by Jesus.
So he bets the turn, and now what is Mo going to do?
Mo's got to lay it down.
Because Jesus doesn't have that much money in front of him, right?
Yeah, I don't think...
Well, the thing is Jesus really capable of making this move with nothing? We really haven't seen him do that before.
He's pretty much doing it with nothing here.
Well, I mean, he has a pair. I mean, with absolutely nothing.
I mean, does he really think his pair of threes is good?
Well.
Wow. And Mo knows the camera's rolling. Look at this. He's just milking it. There's no way he can make a call. Jesus doesn't have enough money to get him off the hand.
If I show you this one, you call? You show me that one. You call? Suero got you call? If you show me, yeah, 90% I can see this. 90% is not enough. Well, 99%. I told you what.
This Mo thinks his ace high is good.
Well, I mean, gotta think maybe that's going through his head here.
I mean, I have seen him make calls with ace high and win pots.
I know he's bluffing, but...
Like he said, I know he's bluffing, but...
It's a good bluff, huh?
And he shows the 3.
You know what? It was a kind of a good read. I mean...
Rabbit Cam is a 10 there, Dave. Mo would have made his hand.
That pretty much was a bluff.
Yep.
He still beat you, though, huh?
Just, I think that, Mo wanted to pick better spots.
Exactly, without a doubt.
Big blind, sir.
Straddle.
Yes, 5, straddle. He doesn't have that.
Yeah, we got a live straddle here by seat number 7, Rod. Not much in the way of great hands coming up here, it looks like.
It's a live straddle.
Jesus is coming in here with Queen 3 offsuit. Barry's got Jack 4 suited. Oh. And here we go, 4-way action. $160 pot. Looks like actually only 3 people in there. Ace 9 Queen. Jesus has gotten the best hand here with second pair. Let's see, it looks like he gets...
50.
No? Jim's going to bet here, 50. 50 into a $160 pot.
250.
And Jesus is going to check raise. Wow, with the second pair. Smelling the weakness there by Jim, and he's most likely going to take it down. And of course, unless Jim's going to come over the top here, which he's not. And Jesus shows a 3. I love it.
Lines, please. Small and big. Small, big. Big one, left.
Look at my card.
It's a box card. Box
We're
card.
going to turn it over anyhow.
Right. It's a box card face up. It's going to be treated as a piece of scrap paper. No. Any card face up is nothing. Metal was already out facing the deck.
To the next one.
No,
And this pot looks like it's going to get limped around here again.
considered a piece of scrap paper. Only exposed cards become the thing.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
What do you mean box card?
It was a box.
Box cards face up in the deck.
Yeah. Face up on the deck. So
Already,
he's
it
right.
wasn't
He's
exposed.
definitely. He's right.
I'll let him come in.
You're going to come in there?
Yeah.
And we are going to see a flop
Five
four
ways.
ways. 5 ways. Ace 10-4, a couple of diamonds on board. Alan's got a flush draw over there in seating. Doesn't look like anyone has a pair. But Jesus is going to bet. He has absolutely nothing. He's bet $100. Looks like it got checked to him. He's on the button.
That's 100.
And it looks like Alan's going to come in here with a flush draw, and he is. Action's on Jim here. I don't even know if he knows. He's going to muck.
2 players.
And here we go to the turn. Turn is a 5. Alan's going to check. Jesus has actually picked up a gut shot straight draw now, and he's going to bet with nothing again. He's betting 200. And Alan on the short stack, again, he's really put himself in a tough spot. Well, he's going to make the call again with 1 card to come with diamonds. And the river is an 8. And now Jesus picks up the best hand. And it looks like Alan has moved all in here. Unbelievable on a missed draw. He's missed the draw and he's moved all in. Wow.
Yeah, the flash.
And Jesus mucks the hand. And Jesus mucks the hand. And Dave, welcome back to the booth. And what a great play by Alan, huh?
Great play by Alan. I'm sitting here watching it before I actually put my headphones on, and I'm going, come on, Alan, do something. You can't just check call, but then, boom.
Wow. So Alan moves in on the missed draw, and he gets Jesus to muck the pair, which was the best hand.
Yeah.
No, he didn't know that Jesus had been bluffing him the whole time.
Wow.
Jesus
Just when you didn't think Alan had it in him.
Yeah. Jesus is he's raised here with Jack 10, and Mo calls him with Ace Queen, so we're heads up. $200 raise, and Mo flops top pair. See how he plays it, Dave. It gets check. The turn is a deuce, and now Mo's going to bet. He's going to bet 500, over betting the pot a bit, and Mo takes it down there. So we've kind of seen some play mixed up here, Dave, so far. Alan with another nice play. I was going to say, it's, I would have actually kind of liked to have seen Alan maybe make that move on the turn, maybe a check raise, but he puts himself in the corner because he's such a short buy.
Yeah.
I mean, even him calling $100 on the flop with a flush draw is a little rough,
Yeah, it's a real questionable.
Yeah.
I mean, he obviously was playing the player and not playing his cards there, and was hoping Jesus had nothing.
Jesus has raised, I believe, again for either the 4th or 5th time in a row. And he's going to get called by Barry,
4 players.
Ali, and Mark. It's a $280 pot, $70 pre-flop raise. Queen 3-8, rainbow. Barry's picked up second pair. Jesus has checked. And Barry's going to bet. Bet's about the size of the pot. Right around $250. Oh, and Jesus makes a check call. Is he trying to set up a bluff later on there, Dave?
I don't think so.
Check calls. And he doesn't have that much money in front of him. Wow. The turn is a 9. I believe Jesus checked blind on that street, and Barry's going to bet again. He's going to bet $275 now, so he's betting about a third or a half, between a third and half the size of the pot, and Jesus check calls again here with king high. Giving money away, Dave. Giving money away. And the river's a deuce. Jesus checks, Barry checks, the 8 is good. Wow.
And
explain that one to me, Dave.
Well, I can't. I wish I could. It was interesting. You actually said, you go, is he calling to set up a bluff? And we've seen that done by some players. But I've seen this play over and over again by Jesus for the last month or so, where he just checks with really no pair, no draw, and he calls hoping to hit his pairs. That's all. I mean, he's got a king draw. That's all he had.
And now Jesus has moved all in.
Is the 5 play?
Pre-flop.
Yeah, I think Jesus is a little frustrated here, and he's steaming.
140 all in.
He's got 140, and it's just, he's doing it with Jack 4 suited, Dave.
Oh, he's just frustrated. He's had enough.
Mo's got king 10 suited. He's going to make the call. Or actually, he's going to raise, Dave. He's going to raise to isolate Jesus. And Mark, he had the best hand.
And look what Mark said. Mark actually said, I know I got you beat, Jesus, but I'm worried about Mo here.
Yep. Now, Jesus isn't a gigantic underdog here. He has some live cards.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Come on, Jack.
How about diamonds? Deuce 10.
Okay.
Deuce.
He's looking good now. Come on.
Oh, Mo's made kings up, kings and 10s now. And the river's a jack. And Jesus has gone broke once again. So that's now somewhere around, what, 4,200 for the night?
Yeah, about that. And unless Jesus' luck changes, he might leave this game and go to Mexican poker. But he's reaching in again.
Alrighty. And he threw Mo a $1,000 chip, and Mo's going to give him chips.
Wow.
I'm going to take a gander that the chips that Mo is giving him are going to go right back to him at some point.
Good. Now, tonight we're seeing Jesus lose more than he has in the last couple of weeks. Usually it's a little bit more of a roller coaster ride for him. I mean, I'm not a big fan of checking and calling with good hands. I certainly don't like checking and calling with no hands.
I was going to say, we haven't heard anything from Patrick. He must be away from the table over there, seat 3.
Yeah.
100.
Rod is raised out of seat 7 to 100. He has ace 10 offsuit. And Jesus is going to make the call with 5-6 offsuit. Look at this. Jesus has picked up an open-ended straight draw. Jesus checks. Rod bets 250.
Come on,
Jesus just
3.
calls.
Come on, 3.
I was surprised. I thought that maybe Jesus would check raise here.
Really?
The turn is a 9. Check, check. And the river's a 9. Let's see if Jesus puts a bluff out here. No, he gives up. Ace 10's going to take it down.
Did you really think he was going to check raise? I mean, I know you hoped he would, but did you really think he was going to? Wow.
Well, the great thing about this game is that if Jesus does leave the table, you've got Patrick, going off doing his thing, and he'll be back soon too. So, pocket aces the first time tonight. Seat number 8. That's Alan. Remember, Alan's on the short stack. And he's going to raise.
Makes a big bet there.
He's raised to 250, Dave.
I like
Wow.
it. He might get a call from Patrick from Jesus anyway.
No, Jesus has got Jack 6 offsuit. Mark has Ace 10 offsuit. I don't know what Mark is thinking about.
Sometimes that happens in a game like this.
Well, I think that Alan might have over-raised there a little bit there, Dave.
No, I clearly over-raised, but it's one of those things with aces is, if he raises to 100,
Yeah.
it's really hard to put Jesus on a hand.
Yeah.
I don't want to put, Jesus can easily flop 2 pair, and I've got so little money that what am I going to do? I'm committing my entire
I
stack.
don't know.
to
If
it.
I was Alan in that spot, I might have limped, knowing that Jesus is probably going to raise with any 2 cards in position and
Yeah,
just
but
pop them all in.
Jesus said actually already limped in, though. So I'm wondering what... Jesus limped in with Jack
you're right.
4 there,
You're
so I'm
right,
wondering what...
Yeah, you're right. I thought Jesus had the button was
Yeah.
around.
Maybe a $150 raise would have... But it probably would have done the same thing anyway.
Well, I think at that point you just do stop and go. Everyone else at the table knows you only have 1,000 left. So if you raise to 100, no one's going to call you really with anything that would have implied odds because you don't really have that many chips behind you.
Right.
And then you just move in on the flop.
I see what you mean.
See what I
Okay.
mean?
It's a way to play it. Hopefully you get a couple of calls. And at least
Well, hopefully you're just trying to get a call from Jesus. That's what I'm saying.
Right. Or a re-raise from Jesus.
Yeah. Barry raised, and he's going to get called here by Jesus and Allen. $60 raise. Queen 3 Jack. Barry's picked up top pair with the Ace Queen. And boy, you wonder if Jesus is going to call all the way down here with bottom pair.
Well, he called before with King 4 when he didn't have a pair or anything. Oh, come on, Alan. This is an easy hand to get away from.
Oh boy. Barry bets 125 and Allen makes the call. And Jesus, he's going to check raise all in here, it looks like.
This is insanity.
Right, exactly. Simple as that. No, sir.
Looks like for another 560, Dave. He's going to check raise all in with bottom pair.
Well, it's better than checking and calling, I'll say that. Let's see if he gets away with it.
Well, I can't see Barry. He's not going to lay down ace queen in this spot. Would you? Come on. And now Allen leaves. So Allen lost a little bit there in pocket nines. And Jesus is going to have to pick up,
he's
gonna
got
have to
outs.
spike
He's
a
got
king,
5
a
outs
3.
here.
Turn is a 7.
Come on, King.
And the river's a deuce.
And another $1,000.
Yeah.
I really do hope that Jesus doesn't get scared away from this game.
Oh, it looks like he's going back in again.
And I just hope it doesn't, stuck him. He's kind of been a regular on Friday nights, and if you get hit too hard, sometimes you don't come back.
Now, he's got chips there. Let's see what those things are. Those are
Those are
$1,000
thousands.
chips. So he's got 5,000 there.
And he's always been known to play it pretty aggressively, but tonight he's really going over the limit, all right?
Yeah.
Gone over the edge.
Mo's got pocket queens. Seat 1.
Patrick's back.
Yeah, all right. Patrick is dealt in. He's posted dead.
Raise it.
And Mo's going to raise.
And you look at the same $250 raise that Allen made. In a
Exactly.
game like this, it's not necessarily a bad play, because if Patrick...
Well, look
or-
at Patrick. He's got deuce 4 offsuit. He's going to make the call.
Well, if Patrick or Jesus, even if one of them have an ace, ace 7, they're probably going to call.
Now, Mark's got pocket 5s. He just doesn't have the type of money to make this call.
It's an easy laydown.
Not with 5s.
I think Mark's only got about, maybe $1,000?
Unless he wants to make that move and re-raise all in. But remember, Mo is the raiser, so, it's...
Well, sometimes the players at the table kind of forget. They go, well, Patrick's playing like a
Right.
crazy man, and so is Jesus. But they forget that when Allen raises or Mo raises,
Yeah.
they probably are more likely to have a real hand.
Barry's got ace-5 suited. I wouldn't imagine that I would want to make that call either to Mo's late position raise for 250.
It's a better call, though, because he's got $5,000 in chips at least.
Well, he's going to muck it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to make
And
a call
obviously
like that.
Allen can't make this call.
Right.
So we're heads up, Mo against Patrick. Queens against deuce 4.
It's about 50-50.
And there's a queen right off the bat.
Yeah.
And Patrick would need to hit running diamonds here. Queen 9-3.
Or, yeah, some sort of running straight.
And it gets check here. The turn's a 7, so Mo's trying to slow play a little bit. And now Mo's going to bet. And Patrick lays it down.
And this is the thing. If you're going to play deuce 4, if you're going to call $250 raise deuce 4, just to check and fold.
Yeah.
Lines, please. Big blind player. Me? Yep.
And we're going to shortly get you an updated chip count in regards to,
Apparently not.
again, how many... well, Jesus is down, what, 5,200 now?
Somewhere in that neighborhood, yeah. Somewhere right around there. 5,000 plus or minus 500.
Yep.
Down a lot of money. You bought him for another 1,000, so... I'm just going to whine all night because I'm not in this game. God. Once again, we are live at the bike. This is unrehearsed, unedited, and unscripted. I'm David Tuckman, and I'm here with Bart Hansen.
Dave, seat 7 has raised to 200 here. He's got pocket 9s.
I never did anything.
I like the play by Rod. He wants to isolate.
I'm asking
I
the
was
player.
counting the people. No, I was doing this. That's how the
He wants to get all those like king jacks out of there. You know, Allen's not going to call with king jack.
I asked him, does he need the floorman over here?
And I think there's a discussion
I
going
can
on.
ask the floorman to come over if the players would like. Okay.
Rod is...
Floorman, no limit 4. Floorman!
Rod was... he was in the
Floorman!
big blind. He had the option, and I guess he pointed his finger,
Yeah, but it's like I'm counting how many
trying to count the players, and some people thought that was a check.
Now, since in my opinion, since there's nobody acting after him, I think he should be able to act because there was no.
The play went
No
forward,
action after him,
came
obviously.
Came to the big line.
Well, let's listen in here.
I looked at him. He went like this with his fingers. I scooped in the pot. He continued to go like this, and after I had the pot in here, the $200 raise came out. I wasn't going to accept it. I said, raise $200, the big blind raise. Seat 8 objected. He said, wasn't that a motion deal? I said, well, would you like me to call the floor?
Okay, so if you're going like that, it means go ahead.
Okay.
So
No matter how many players he's counting, just like he should.
right, but you still got to be careful on your motion, your hand motion, anything like that can dictate a check. Okay, so it's just going to be a check round.
Well, Mike's going to rule it a check there, Dave. I don't know. Ace deuce 3 here on the flop. Look at Jim.
Wow.
He's flopped a flush draw, top pair. Look at this pocket 9s comes out firing though.
Yeah, so this is one of those things. He's come out firing out of frustration.
Yeah.
Instead of going that flop is way too coordinated. Ace deuce 3, spades.
And Jim is raised here to 300. Marcus got a weak ace, ace 7, and boy, he should easily get away from this.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Yeah. He's
He
gonna
does.
muck it. Oh boy, yeah, pocket 9s is frustrated here. Rod's going to make the call.
Well, I understand his frustration. It's a bad ruling. I really think that. I mean, our floormen do a great job.
Turns at 3. Seat 7's check. And Jim bets in position with top pair and a flush draw.
Yeah, he does. And I like the bet. I like the bet there a lot. And Bart is talking about betting in position with the ace-high flush there, obviously, because you had that trouble when you lost that money with the king-high flush because you couldn't put the player on the hand.
That's right.
And
in this specific game, actually.
there, Isaac cost me. I'm bumping around here, walking.
In this specific game, yeah.
Yeah.
I had that happen.
Well, some players will do it, and some players will take the free card if they put the other guy in ace-king.
Well, not that time.
I'm really curious. I mean, like I said, our floormen here do a wonderful job, but, we're going to be honest, and I'm really curious about that ruling, because the whole point of saying, if somebody made action or a string bet or he checked or something like that is because he basically made action after him. If somebody had checked after that, but nobody did. I don't get the call.
The pot was limped around here, and 3 flush again with an ace, ace queen 3. Allen has an ace. He's got a weak ace in the big blind. Well, it's kind of like, baseball commentators not agreeing with the umpire's decision on a play.
Right.
Jesus has bet $100 here, pure bluff. And he's going to take it down, it looks like. No, I totally agree with you, Dave. I mean, it's the concept of the rule. I mean, it's almost the same rule where people have the right to look at. I mean, it's a different circumstance, but people who ask to see the people's hands that have been called.
Right.
That's not the purpose of the rule. Sometimes, you can interpret the rule because of the wording one way, but then when you actually look at the spirit of the rule, it's kind of looking at case law sometimes. The courts do it.
Right.
In society. It's just, it's a situation where I don't think Mike got that one right. Well, Barry's up a grand because he started with 5,000.
Mo is up about 2,300.
I think Patrick rebought, so we don't really exactly know where he's really at. And
well, we saw Patrick. He lost a quick $2,000 pot, but then he won that huge pot with the ace 10 versus Jackson 8.
Oh, that's right. So maybe
he's probably up about $1,500 tonight now.
Yeah, he's up $1,500.
Right. Sometimes floor men and everybody, they kind of are strict to the letter of the rule rather than the spirit of the rule.
Right.
And what was the point of it?
Right.
Which is obviously important.
Mo here has raised with the ace-jack offsuit. He's raised to 60. And he got called in a few spots. And here we go to the flop. Ace-10-jack, top two pairs right away from
How does Mo do it? I don't understand.
That's not a check?
I raise with ace-jack and it comes out like king 5-3. He raises with ace-jack and look at that flop.
Bet. You could bet. I'm not. That's exactly what I did. That's a totally different. He said how many players. No. That's exactly what I was doing. It's basically the same.
Now C7 is, I guess, complaining that Mo made an indication of a check, but Mo wants to bet, obviously.
Okay, guys.
Okay. So what's going on here?
So Mo is going to bet.
Yeah.
Keep your hands to yourselves.
Now, this is a case where Mark, we say that he's played pretty tight solid. What is he really doing calling with queen-jack offsuit, Mo's under-the-gun raise? I mean, obviously No Limit is not a game of necessarily all pre-flop selection.
Well, he doesn't have enough money to do that. If you have $5,000, I don't mind the call. But now it's a pretty easy hand to get away from. It should be.
He's just been looking frustrated all night. He's just been frustrated, He can't really do anything. He doesn't have enough money to really work with, Dave, and it's just kind of shortchanging himself.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think in this game here, you really got to buy in for $2,000.
Yeah.
How could you cannot? Even if he has a king queen, you cannot.
Sir, he can't read my hand.
You cannot read your hand. Okay.
And the way he's thinking, you'd almost put him on ace-king or ace-10.
Right.
I mean, I'm not sure what he's really...
Or ace-queen.
Yeah, I mean, something... Right, I mean, something like that where he's got top pair and a draw.
Right.
Here he's got second pair and
Well, he's got a gut shot to the king.
Right, but it's not like he wants his two pair to hit.
Right. Mo's going to take it down.
One time.
And Mo shows the ace-jack.
Believe me, I know exactly what you have. Every time you want, I read every time.
And I think
It's really rare that we've ever seen Mo really lose on the show, Dave. I mean, remember you and I get into this discussion about variance and, how often you win or lose in a session of No Limit versus Limit. And I think that the good No Limit players win a lot more in terms of session amounts. Not in terms of amount of money, but session amounts, as opposed to Limit, where you might only win 55 to 60% of the time if you're a good Limit player.
I agree with you. Doyle Brunson actually said that after, I think he had heart surgery or some major surgery, he went on to win 56 straight sessions of No Limit Hold'em. And I would challenge anybody to try to win 56 straight sessions of a limit hold'em.
Oh, it's impossible. Win 10 straight sessions of limit hold'em.
Yeah,
How about that?
my best streak, I've won about 14 or 15 straight.
Really?
A couple of times.
Yeah.
But that's it. Then I usually lose a couple, and then I can win 6 straight or something, but limit hold'em is a completely different animal.
Flop got checked around here. King, 7, king, 2 clubs. And now Mo is going to bet on a flush draw on the turn. He's bet $100. And look at Barry. Barry's going to call with an open-ended straight draw.
I would like to see a raise there.
Yeah, if he's going to do that, why not make a move and raise, Dave? Even
without
if he
a doubt.
hits a straight card, it might not be good if it's a club.
Yeah, I don't.
And
understand.
Jesus is in there with 3-5.
Yeah, well, what do we
And
know?
look at this. The 5 comes. It gives Barry the nut straight. Huh. And because Jesus had one of the red 5s, you know, there was only that 5 and another one that would have made his hand there, David. That wasn't the club.
Right. I mean, obviously a 10 would have made his card, but
Right.
the same way. Yeah, I would have much rather, especially when a call, especially with the bet on there in the flop turn. Why not? Represent the king.
Yeah, the flush. I had a higher club flush than you do.
And Barry has bet here. Mo mutts. And look at this. Jesus makes the call there with bottom pair. And then you got, you know, if you're a player at the table, you look at Barry and now you're thinking, what the hell kind of call was that on the turn?
Yeah, a really odd call. 2 clubs out there.
Yeah.
A paired board. And calling with a draw with only 1 card to go. But what do we know? Look at it, pays off, huh?
Yeah.
But no limit, obviously you can win more sessions because when you're playing well, when you're focused, when you're reading players well, you know, when you're disciplined and patient and all these things, you don't necessarily need the cards to win. You don't need hands. You can win without hands. Limit hold'em, obviously, you need the hands because there's going to be a lot more showdowns.
Oh, absolutely. Live straddle here. It's C3. And look at this. Mo smooth calls with ace-king as opposed to raising, because I think that he thought that Patrick was going to re-raise out of the straddle spot, but he didn't get it.
He's also in the small blind.
Yeah. Jack, deuce, 7. Couple of diamonds. But I got to think that it was him thinking that Patrick was going to raise out of the straddle.
Definitely hoping.
Jim is bet here with ace, deuce.
He's got the ace of diamonds as well.
90.
It's not a bad bet. And look at Jesus. You can tell his inexperience in Hold'em as he shows the cards with people still left to act.
Yep.
And that's a nice bet by Jim there. He's got a pair. He's got the ace of diamonds. So he can figure, since he has the ace of diamonds, it's much less likely that somebody else would have a flush draw. And obviously nobody's got the nut flush draw because he has the ace of diamonds. Nice bet there by Jim. Takes it down. And with a straddled pot, I mean, we're talking about a $160 pot there that he took down with only a $90 bet. We talk about experienced players and inexperienced players. Some players get married to that ace-king. You see how Mo doesn't flop an ace or a king or any kind of draw, and he just quickly throws it away.
Well, the hand is worth nothing at this point.
Exactly.
Absolutely nothing.
Well, some people they forget that ace-king is just a drawing hand, and you're only going to hit a pair 1 out of 3 times.
I mean, I remember that Doyle Brunson was talking in his original Super System that one of the players in his normal game that he was playing, either in Texas or said, you're going to play the tightest you've ever seen tonight, Doyle. I'm going to fold the ace-king in the first, I think it was 4 positions. Now, I don't fold ace-king, but you can't really treat it like aces, kings, or queens.
No.
Especially in early position, you know.
It literally, it's just a drawing hand, and you're only going to hit that pair 1 out of 3 times.
Look at this. Patrick raised for free flop, and he bet, and Jesus called, and I think Patrick bet all in. And look at this. Patrick, I believe, is going to take it down with a 7.
Patrick went all in with a pair of 7s there.
Yeah, well, Jesus only had a couple hundred left, so he's gone broke once again. Patrick raised, Jesus called with 4-6. So that's another 1,000 Jesus has lost. But, of course, he could make that back in about 20 minutes, all the money he's lost tonight, dude.
Yeah, with that, we've seen it.
Yeah. No, he's going to get up and take a little break, it looks like.
That's probably the wise thing.
Yep.
You know, it's funny. I saw our dealer there checking the cards, and I saw her hands, and for some reason I thought Brian was still at the table. And I'm going, wow, what nicely manicured fingers Brian has.
Brian has some feminine hands.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, wow, look at those.
Or someone could have taken that
And our jackpot's going on right now. Got a couple of big ones going on. In the 6-8 limit games, jackpot is $41,000.
And of course, during, I believe it's between 11 and 2 and 5 and 7, I want to say, there's $100,000 jackpots in the 6 and the 8 game here.
Wow. We also have our $1 million promotion going on.
Right.
If you win any jackpot, I think if you win any jackpot...
If you win any jackpot at 612 or above,
yeah,
you get put in a drawing that's happened once a month. And then the winner of that table, or the winner, that specific table that's picked out of the drawing, however many jackpots has hit that month, gets to go and draw again to see if they win $1 million.
And they split it among their table.
That's right. It's a table share.
Oh, that's pretty good.
You know,
so you can be playing. You can buy in for a couple $100 into a 6 game, and walk away with $500,000.
It looks like Jesus rebought for $2,000, Dave.
Okay, hey, you know what? It's better than buying in for $1,000.
Pocket aces here for Ali. He's raised $200. So this has kind of been quite the thing to over-raise because you're going to get Jesus to call, and he calls with King 3. So heads up, aces against King 3. If a king comes here, Dave, he could have all of his money. And look at this, King 10-9.
Oh, God.
We know that Jesus doesn't have a lot of regard for kickers.
Kicker schmicker.
And look at this, Ali bets, and Jesus check raises them all in.
Come on, 3.
And Ali calls. Turn
Come on,
is a
3.
7. River is a jack. And Ali has a $1,000 chip behind him, so I think that he might have just busted Jesus again. Again, Dave. And I think that's it.
Oh.
Kicker game, Dave. Hold'em's a kicker game.
Kicker? I had nothing to do with the kicker.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, not like King 3 is any good, but the king was no good. Oh, man.
Well, you're right about that, too.
Hold'em is indeed a kicker game, but in that case, Ali had him killed there. Wow.
And Jesus has bought another 1,000. So now we're tallied up to somewhere around 6,400 for the night.
Well, he just put in front of the 2. I think he's actually down close to like 9,000 now.
No, I thought it was 6,000. Well, we're getting word from the floor, maybe at least 8,000. So.
One of the worst possible
Wow. What's $8,000?
70.
You kind of wishing you were in the game, Bart? The thing is, I like Jesus so much. I really am rooting for him. I want him to win. Oh, here he's got a real hand.
Jesus has got pocket 10s, and he's re-raised. Patrick raised, I believe, and Jesus has re-raised.
No, 1,000 total. That's it.
Patrick made it 60. Jesus raised at 300. Look at this. Patrick's going to come in and play. And have Jesus again. He only has 1,000 behind, so.
No, total. With that.
He only has 700 left, Dave.
Well, Jesus is way ahead here.
Yeah, here we go to the flop. Queen 9-3. Jesus is going to move all in.
Patrick can't call this.
Patrick says, I know he got ace, king, ace, jack.
Patrick gave him a lot of credit. Ace, king, or ace, jack.
And Jesus has got the Corona in his hand. And I was going to say, Patrick can't make that call, can he, Dave?
Well, if you put the guy in ace jack, how do you, I don't know. If you put the guy in ace jack, what are you calling with jack deuce for?
Not sure.
I tell you, the action's great here. All I need is a beer and some speedy sauce, and I'm set.
Remember, everyone, speedy sauce is a upstate New York marinade, not some of the things that a lot of everyone out there might be thinking.
What might you be thinking?
I don't know.
No, you did. I'll pick it up. Don't eat it.
Wow. One thing about a no-limit game, unlike a limit game, you really need 2 or 3 live players to kind of make the game go.
Yeah.
Make it a really profitable game for you. No-limit game, you can have one.
Absolutely.
One guy can make the whole table.
A little like stud high low too.
Yeah, well, because stud high low, you can be playing with 5 or 6 players. So, if, one player is a provider. Hey.
This pot was limped around. Queen 10-3 rainbow. Looks like Jesus is going to throw out a bet here with bottom pair, and gets Barry to lay down the same hand right next to him.
But Jim's got king 10 now. I don't think he's going to go anywhere.
He's going to make the call. Actually, he's going to raise it. It looks like. And Jesus makes the call.
Well, Jesus is almost drawing dead. There's only one more 3 in the deck, and that's what he needs to hit.
Turn is an 8. Jesus checks. And Jim looks like he's going to bet. And Jesus mucks.
Sometimes I wonder, there's really no rhyme or reason of why he makes some calls and some laydowns.
Oh, Patrick's getting up from the game? And he's walking away with about $5,000.
Yeah, Patrick does that a lot. Sometimes he'll sit down, and if he wins a couple thousand or he wins a couple hundred, he'll get up.
And we might see him back later on, though.
Oh, he'll wander around the casino and play other games, for sure. I actually sat down. I saw him in a 20 Hold'em game last night. I sat down right away.
Oh, my goodness.
You sat down right away. But he knows me, and when I sat down, he got up about 3 minutes later.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm not sure if that's out of respect for me or just maybe he doesn't like me. I don't know. Maybe I just smell. I have no idea, but I was disappointed.
Respect for you? Are you kidding me?
I doubt it, but I was disappointed to see him go. Believe it or not, some people might have respect for me. 1 or 2.
Actually, more and more people I come in here and when we prop, they're like, "You're that guy that does the webcast, huh?" I was playing in the 200 game today.
Right.
And what are you going to do, commentary on this hand? They actually kind of get a little bit perturbed. I don't think they really necessarily like me at the table, but hey. Now, let me tell you, I'll change it up. Everyone who's going to come out here and think that I'm going to bet on my trips or raise my sets, you get another thing coming to you.
Hey, without a doubt.
Although I did raise on the set of 3s today, though, because you just had to.
Of course you did.
Well,
the big challenge is when we're playing against each other.
Yeah, you
and
got
trying to
me.
Mix it up versus each other.
You got me on Sunday to the tune of about $300 or $400.
Yeah, it was a small pot.
But then small in terms of what you won that day. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But in terms of what we're watching, in terms of this game, it was a relatively small pot.
Right.
And for those of you at home wondering, we were playing 3 to 500 game, buying game, and luckily for me, Bart raised in middle position with ace queen, and I decided to call him with 3-5 of spades on the button, and the flop came out queen 5-5. So I flopped trips, he flopped top pair, and long story short, I doubled up.
Jesus checked. Barry bet here. He caught the 10 on the turn, and Jesus check called. The river's a 9. 1 card straight to the board now. And Barry's going to take it down there with the jack 10. Does Barry have a fanny pack on, Dave?
A what pack?
A fanny pack? Isn't that what those things are called?
I guess that's what it's called. You mean like a man purse? I don't know. We'll get Don at exactly what that is. Find out who makes that for us. And it,
Actually, it's funny. I've seen a lot of poker players, especially the no-limit players or even, the white chip people. They carry around these little, like Gore. He has a man purse, too, that he carries his cash around in.
John Fan actually carries one of those.
Oh, yeah?
He has like a little, like a little, I guess a fanny pouch. Fanny pouch? Is that what it is? Whatever it is. But John Fan, he, big tournament player, John Van, he has one of those. And, I think he holds his iPod in there, and he holds, maybe a drink or a granola bar or whatever. Who knows?
Three-way action here. Multi-way action, limped around. Jack 10 deuce, rainbow.
Jim and Alan both have top pair and both have the same kicker here.
Yep. Jim's going to lead. It's bet 90. Geez, this is going to call here with 5-10 offsuit.
Now, this is a raise or fold situation for Alan.
How about just a call?
I don't like the call. If
Really?
If it heads up, it's not a terrible play. But with Jesus in the middle there, I don't want... it's too coordinated a board. Somebody could have a drawing hand here.
Turn is a 6. And now if you're Jim, you've bet from up front. Obviously, Jesus' call doesn't mean that much, but Alan, what do you think he is? And now he's going to bet 300. And, we've seen Alan sometimes chicken out on these hands, Dave. And, he's backed himself into a corner.
If he raises if he raises the flop, he probably gets to check it down for free the whole way through if he wants to.
Right.
Because he's got the button.
Yeah. He's going to lay it down there, Dave.
Come on, Alan. You got position on a guy, and a guy bets into you, and you have top pair with a pretty good kicker. You want to raise that up.
I got to tell you, if anyone wants to come down and see me in action, so a couple people watching me last night, they've got a very, very juicy 40-80 Omaha game that follows around the WPT Tour. And I beat that game in the tunes of about $13,000 over at the other card room during the LA
Poker Classic. Something last night. I was like, last night?
Well, no, but, over about 8, over, a few sessions.
Yeah.
At the LA Poker Classic. And now they have it here. Now. Ugh.
I know I left here last night with you still in the game. How did you do last night?
I ended up making maybe 1,300 over 3.5 hours.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
Not bad at all.
I mean, in Omaha, if you have people coming in with hands that are just so much worse than yours in terms of value, it's just easy to beat the game. Omaha High-Low is it's a pre-flop game.
Well, especially at limit, like most limit games.
Right.
Pre-flop, there's a lot more premium on what your pre-flop hands are. Stud high-low, stud 8 or better, there's a huge premium on your first 3 cards. If I'm coming in with 2-4-5 and you're coming in with Jack 8-5, I'm gonna beat you.
This flop got checked around. Mo's got pocket 8s. He has the best hand. Now Barry's picked up he's got overcards and an open-ended straight draw. He's gonna bet. He's bet 175. I believe Barry was the initial raiser. So he checks the flop, and now he bets the turn. Easy. It's a little bit easy to put him here on King Queen, Dave. And the river is a deuce. And it's a third spade.
Pair's good.
And it looks like it's just going to get checked down.
Yeah, Barry says pair is good.
Actually, I remember some of the old school Live at the Bike fans. And,
old school?
Yeah. If somebody... Actually, I saw Kev Mouth, who is the starter of the 2+2 thread. Of course, if you want to go to 2plus2.com, click on forums, click on World Poker Tour, Tournament Poker, World Poker Tour and other televised tournaments. We're right there. When Greg Raymer was playing in the game maybe 5 or 6 months ago, he was specifically talking about that type of hand where somebody raises, a jack comes out, he checks it to you, and now a 10 comes out, and now he bets. Now, I guess he could do that with ace-king. Also, but
it screams King Queen.
Screams King Queen, yeah.
Dog in the hand.
And Reamer made a call with something like bottom pair for $1,200.
Right.
If I described the hand correctly.
Well, you start thinking of the hands the guy might have. If he only had a pair of 10s, he might check it still.
Right.
And if he had a jack, he probably he would have bet the flop. So I understand what you're saying.
Jesus, he live straddled here, and he's going to raise out of the straddle position.
Well, he's in good shape. Mark and Ollie have the
200
same
more
hands.
with 8-9 suited. And look at this again, Mark. He's kind of like Alan. Like he's just so short-chipped. It's he struggles to make these calls.
I think he would have moved all in.
Moves.
I think he would have moved all in had Ollie not done
Look, he's going to lay it down. Well, here we go. 8-9 suited against Ace-Jack. King, Queen, Deuce. Now, if Jesus moves, I don't think Ali can call here.
Well, hey.
Now, if Ali thinks he's got one of his, if his ace is good and he's got a gut shot to the 10, I think that's what he's trying to figure out here, Dave. The total bet is $550, so the pot's about it's about $1,000, $550 to call. He's getting about 2-1 on his money. He's going to lay it down, Dave, I think. Again, I think he's figuring, well, my ace is good, I get my 10, so I got 7 outs, 2 cards to come. He doesn't really quite have the odds there. Of course, Jesus has nothing, so.
Well, he's got no backdoor draw, really.
Yeah.
It's just.
Nah, he's going to lay it down.
I mean, if he thinks Jesus is making a move, well, then you got to re-raise him pre-flop.
And Jesus shows the bluff. He shows the 8-9 of spades, and that can't make Ali happy over there in seat 1. Seat 9, excuse me.
Well, we've got our Legends of Poker tournament going on all month, culminating on August 27th. We have our No Limit Championship event, $5,000 entry, the World Poker Tour event that Doyle Brunson won last year. And today's event was actually Stud High Low, 8 or better, $500 entry. And tomorrow is a Limit Hold'em event, $500 entry. All the tournaments start at 4:15. Sunday's event should be amazing, August 14th. That's actually a $100,000 guarantee, $200 buy-in tournament with multi-rebuys. No Limit Hold'em.
Gonna see a flop here, limped around. 4 people in the hand. $80 pot. Jack 10-7. Mark there in seat 4's got top pair. And he's checked it from up front, Dave, it looked like.
Jim, actually, this is one of those ones you don't see, but Jim's got a double gutter as well.
Yep. And he's going to bet. He's going to bet $50. Queen or an 8, right?
Yes, exactly.
And Mark's going to check raise to 150.
Nice bet there. Nice raise.
Oh, you get a new player there coming into seat 3.
And Jim's going to call.
Yep, Jim's going to make the call. Turns an ace. Wow. And Mark checks. And look at this. Jim's going to bet.
Wow.
He's
Well,
gonna
that's a
bet
nice
300.
bet. You know why I like that bet there? If you need to take the free card, but when the ace comes out, the ace is a scare card.
Right.
Because if Mark had King Jack, or in this case Queen Jack, the ace has got to be scary.
Well, I think that Mark might be representing King Queen here as well. Obviously, that's one of the possibilities that he could have.
Without a doubt.
Excuse me, Jim could have King Queen.
Well, if you're Mark and you have Queen Jack, you're going, what can I beat? The guy called my raise. What can I beat?
Well, he's going to make the call there, kind of out of frustration. I mean, he's basically all in for, it looks like another $20, Dave. $30. So Jim is going to need to catch a queen, a king, or an 8 here. Actually, king wouldn't do it. It would give Mark a straight, and he doesn't get there.
Yeah.
My 2 pair would be better, mate. Jack 7.
And I guess that's what you got to do when you're short stacked. You got to double up.
I have 2 pairs.
And I really like, it didn't work out for Jim there, but it's a nice bet on the turn. He really tried to use that ace as a scare card. And he might have been doing what, in terms of like what Kathy Liebert was talking about. He says, okay, if I catch my queen, I'm going to hit a straight. If I catch my 8, I'm going to catch a straight. Or if I catch my king, I might even be good. And if an ace comes out, maybe I can bluff him out. It didn't work, obviously, but that might have been his thinking.
I flopped 2 pairs.
So thanks for joining us, everyone. We are here at Live at the Bike. We are doing a 10-20 no limit game, $1,000 minimum buy-in, unrestricted maximum buy-in. The yellow chips are $5 chips. The red chips are $10 chips. The purples are $25. The whites are 100s. And the big greens are thousands.
Yep. We just keep adding new colors.
Yeah. Seat 7 here is raised to 60 with king, queen suited. Barry's got a 7-6 off suit there in the blind. He's thinking about coming in, but he's not going to.
And Rod takes it down. I can't take anybody seriously with the name of Rod. All I can think is porn.
Come on, not even names. What a loose bet.
Wasn't the guy from Twilight Zone named Rod? Rod Sterling, right?
Yeah, yes. I know there are plenty of great Rod Sterling, Rod Stewart.
Rod Stewart.
Yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with the name. It's just my warped brain.
You just then think of names like Joe Robbed, like porn stars, stuff like that, or
yeah. Unfortunately, or fortunately, whatever. And there's Paul in seat 3. Not quite the action player that Patrick is.
No.
Paul is a professional player. He's local, Los Angeles.
Mark Reyes is here with the... Oh, no, he doesn't race. He was just counting his chips out there. Jesus is the one with the ace-jack suited. He's going to race.
And he's on the button there. It's a nice race. And if you're Alan, do you take one off here? I don't know if you have the odds to, because Jesus might not have enough money.
Well, Alan, he's got 3-5 off suit. Oh, excuse me, he's got pocket 3s. Okay, I see what you mean. And he's going to make the call. Yeah.
Well, he can make about 9 times his money here. Actually,
Jesus has ace-jack suited. Now we have jack deuce up there. But. So he's picked up top pair here. Ace, deuce, 6. And look at this. I think it's gone. Has it gone check?
250.
Oh, Jesus is going to bet 250.
I don't care, man. You blocked me one time.
Oh, and you know what? I think we're getting word that Jesus is a little upset at Alan because I think he might have gone back and talked to some people, and Jesus found out that Alan bluffed him on the river that hand.
Yeah, Alan might have showed it. We didn't see, but yeah, maybe.
Oh, yes.
And maybe Jesus is making a little comeback.
No, I don't care. You do what you want. Just leave your chips. Yeah, leave your chips. I'll take it. Shot foil.
And Ollie's going to get up here, seat 9. We got a little bit of a short table for a second. Seat 2 is out. Seat 8 is out. And seat 9 obviously is not there right now. So we got a six-handed table right now.
What does that mean?
And Jesus tosses in some chips.
Can't quite see what he has. I don't know if he's in the hand there, Dave.
Oh, actually, I apologize. I thought he was tossing in chips, but he actually tossed the dealer a tip.
Ah.
He tips so well, it's hard to tell when he's betting or tipping.
Look at this. Mo is raced a 125 with 9-6 suited. Paul is called with pocket 4, so we're heads up. So Mo is the original raiser here. King, Jack, 8, couple of hearts.
And these are a couple of players that can really play.
And Mo's going to bet. And look at Paul. Well, he's not gonna play. It looked like he was reaching for his chips to call there.
Thinking about it for a second. And there are a lot of moves that Mo can make against a guy like Paul that obviously he knows won't work against, say, Patrick or Jesus.
Right.
And that's what's really big about No Limit, is really knowing your opponent.
Well, look at this. We get a new chip count here. Look at Barry. He's one of the big winners tonight, too. He's up over $2,000. Mo up about 3,500 there. Jesus is back down to 1,200. Rod hanging around 2,200. Paul with 3,000. And Mark just, squeaking along there with about 700 in C4.
Yeah. And I don't see Alan on the list. He must have taken break there. I'll have to check it out and see where he's at.
Actually, I don't think that they changed the name. Alan's in seed 8 there, so he's got 1,100.
There we go. Okay. It's funny, Barry's up 2,000. I haven't seen him. He's like,
Well, he's won all those pots against Jesus, remember?
he's like the invisible man. I don't even see him here.
Yeah.
He wins $2,000 in a real quiet way.
They call play, right? They call play. They call play. Yeah, I told you. Thank you.
Look at that. It looks like somebody swiped one of our Live at the Bike chairs behind Jesus' head there.
Oh. Bastards.
Bastards. I was just going to say the same thing.
100.
Jesus is bet 100. Now look at this. Mark in seat 4 has limped in with pocket 8s. Under the gun. Do you think he's going to do the limp re-raise? I would if I were him.
Well, if nobody else is in the pot.
And
definitely.
no one else is. It's got folded around to Mark. And he's in great shape because I think Jesus is going to make the call. No, he's just going to call there,
Yeah.
Dave. Well,
See, earlier he did it with pocket 5s. It was a
Yeah.
great play, and he should have done it here.
oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Jesus has flopped a full house. Ace, ace, deuce.
And I got to tell you, that's not a bad flop for pocket 8s. I mean, it's terrible in this case, but
Yeah.
how does he know?
Look at that. Jesus bets.
Yeah.
Bets 100.
That's a tough hand to get away from, Mark. You know, 1 ace is easy, but 2 aces is hard.
Look at this. He shows a deuce. He says, I check 1 card. And he shows a deuce.
Oh, this is.
And what do you think when the guy shows you a deuce? And look at this. He's going to make the call. Because you put him on ace deuce or pocket deuces? And he showed the other card. The turn's a queen.
He showed us the other card.
Yeah.
He did not show him.
Yeah, Mark checks. Jesus bet. He flipped up the other card to Mo. And Jesus has bet, I believe, 200. Oh, this is a great hand to watch.
Wow. And I'll tell you one thing about Mark's play there on the flop. I really think you're in raise or fold mode
Look at this.
there.
Jesus gets up from the table.
It's one of those things, if you think your hand is good, then raise it. If you don't think the hand is good, then get rid of it.
And he's got the deuce up on the table here.
No more bets.
Jesus is acting really confident here. I think you can read that as not a bluff. I mean, obviously it's easy for us, but
I know. I was surprised.
And did Mark make the call? He made the call. It was all in. He put him all in for his money, and Jesus turns over the ace deuce, and Mark has gone broke, it looks like.
yeah.
Well, I don't understand that. Maybe they just checked it down, Dave.
Actually,
Very,
what
very
happened?
confusing.
What happened there exactly was Jesus bet another $100 and
Yeah.
said, "If you call this, I won't bet the river."
Oh, I see. Okay. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Do something. That's what I thought. And I have got the dates. I'm going to. See you last play. I do a good play. I lose more money now. With him, I lose more money.
Jesus kind of made a business transaction there. Said, "Hey, call the 100. I won't bet the river. I,
I missed
promise."
that. I apologize.
That happens. Once again, we are live. We're unscripted,
Yep.
unedited. We see it like you see it. So obviously, sometimes, it happens. And he loses with pocket 8s, Mark does, but this time he's got big slick. Let's see what happens here.
I just really thought that Mark was going to pull the limp re-raise there.
It would, in the end, I mean, it would have been a nice play, but I think Jesus was going to call, and he would have lost more money.
Well, obviously.
Yeah.
And Mark looks like...
Paul actually raised
Yeah,
on the button.
Paul's
there.
raised here on the button, and Mark's figuring out what he's going to do here. He's got ace-king.
And Jesus has got king 9 of diamonds in the big blind.
Wow, Mark just is going to smooth call with the ace-king. And Jesus calls with the king 9. So, Paul's got Jesus covered in the diamond department here, Dave. 4-5-8.
Ace king is still in the lead here.
Yeah. Well, if Paul bets here... Oh, no, he's going to take a card. Oh, the turn is an ace. It's a third spade.
And that's a monster card for Mark. He's got the king of spades in his hand also.
Yep. Let's see what happens here.
Might not be a bad time for a check raise here. if you're Mark.
Well, it looks like he's cutting out chips here, Dave.
Because he doesn't have that many chips in his thing. Why not check raise?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Well, now if you're Paul, what do you do?
Throw it away.
Yep.
You got an ace with no kicker and no spade in your hands.
How about that, though? He makes the call. Wow.
This one, yeah, okay, thank you.
Trying to be a mind reader.
Yeah.
It's about a $120 bet here. And the river's a 7. Oh, one-liner straight to the board now. And at this point, I think Mark has pretty much just committed himself to the hand. He doesn't have any
he's
chips
not
left.
going anywhere.
He's going to bet 175, and that was kind of an action killer there on the river. I got to agree with you, Dave. I would have liked to have seen a check raise there on the
Yeah, it's a
turn.
nice value bet on the river here, though.
Yeah.
There's not much at all that Paul can beat. All he can beat is a pure bluff. And Paul calls.
And Paul's going to make the call, and Ace-King takes it down. And Jesus asks to see Paul's hand.
And that's
Which is,
and I don't think he's doing it to be rude. He just doesn't know. He doesn't realize that. Obviously,
I'll
that's
buy that.
in somewhat poor etiquette.
I'll buy that.
Jesus is a Mexican poker player, and not a
Right.
not a Holden player.
I buy it.
Well, looks like that. Mark loses $200, and now Mark wins $300.
Yeah. So Mark is creeping his way back.
Yeah.
Hey, you want the blind?
And there's Greg
Sure.
stepping in. Well, sitting in, I guess.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's only for 200. Otherwise, I might take some.
Next person, please. Next person.
Again, we're always looking for that some information about Mexican poker out there. Anyone on the internet can feed it to us through 2+2, Dave.
$60.
We want to know what this guy is thinking, right? What kind of mantra he's coming from.
Well, I mean, you gotta in Mexican poker, it is a 5-card stud game, pretty much.
Right.
So, you know, one pair is a big hand in that game.
But I've just heard a lot of comments that Mexican poker is just more like a bingo lottery than anything else, as opposed to a poker game.
Well, it seems like a lot of guys are going all in with 2 cards.
Yeah.
You know, especially 3 cards.
Mark raised here on the button. Looks like to 60, and he got called in 3 spots. So here we go, about a $200 pot. Ace, deuce, 4. Look at this. Barry's picked up top and bottom.
And if I'm Barry here, I bet it, hoping that
That Mark has something like ace, king.
exactly.
Yep. And he is going to bet it. Jesus has a flush draw with queen 8.
$225.
It's a $225 bet here by Barry.
And Mark doing the sideways head thing there. And come on, Mark, stop wasting our time. There you
Going to
go.
lay it down. Jesus makes the check call.
This is the problem with going for draws here. You're in that check call mode.
Turn is an 8. Now he's picked a pair up, too.
Yep. Now you can add the outs out. He's got outs.
2 8s now, too.
Yeah, plus the 9 clubs. He's got 11 outs. Going
Of course,
further.
if the queen came, it wouldn't be good.
Right.
$300 bet here by Barry.
But he might think it's good, which
Yeah.
gives him even more outs.
And he's going to make the call. So here we go to the river. River's a king.
King of diamonds is no good here.
You got to wonder if Barry's going to make a value bet here at the end, if Jesus is going to call him there with third pair. Oh, look at this. He's chosen the wrong time to move on his busted draw. Barry makes a quick call, and Jesus has gone bust once again.
Once again. And that's another $1,000. That's
Bang, bang, boom.
he's coming close to the $10,000 mark here.
Wow. And we noticed up on the 2+2 board them talking about a record. We had a gentleman by the name of Francisco, not the other Francisco that plays on the show, who is somewhat more of a solid no-limit player,
Right.
but crazy gambler Francisco, we call him. I think he lost somewhere around 6 or 7 off the
6
top
or
of my
7,
head.
okay.
Jesus is into 6 figures now. Excuse me, 5 figures. 5 figures.
Yes.
You know, if we did the show over a course of a week, it could be 6 figures.
Well, without a doubt.
Right.
And believe it or not, some people would watch Jesus play and go, oh, okay, this guy can never win. But the interesting thing is that we've seen him win here,
Yes, we have.
you know?
Yes, we have.
I wouldn't deal him in.
And Barry continues to win more and more. I mean, that's another, that was almost another $1,300 you just went up from Jesus. So I think
He's up over $3,000 tonight.
Yeah.
Him and Mo are the two big winners so far tonight.
Yeah, unbelievable.
4 players. No, yeah.
Four-way action here. Pot was, I believe, it was limped around ace 7-8.
And
Thank you.
Jim still has the best hand here.
5 round chips.
$50 bet.
Yeah, and Jim actually throws a bet out here with pocket 5.
Hey, why not? Throw it out there, see where you're at.
You have one of those?
Barry asks him if he got one of those. He goes, no, I don't. But
Rod has a gut shot here, and he's going to muck it.
sometimes people forget to bet. They're in that check call mode or the check and fold mode, and you forget to give sometimes you got to give your opponent a chance to fold.
Yeah.
I was in trouble.
Pocket 5s.
You know what? I had 4-6. I need to find a great shot. I don't feel like anything.
Thank you, sir.
Now, Jesus has got up temporarily, but his player's classic card is still on the table, Dave, so I think he's coming back for more.
Well, we can only hope.
But we're running a count, and it's about 10,000 now.
Yeah, somewhere in that range. Somewhere between $9,000 to $10,000 tonight, unfortunately, for him.
Pot has been raised to 125. 125 is the bet.
And that's the one thing in these Hold'em games. On any given night, poker is extreme. The luck factor is extremely high. But in the long run, it'll catch up to you.
Look at this pocket jacks against pocket 9s.
3 players.
Paul raised. Looks like we've got a smooth call there from Rod and Jim. 8-3-4. Wow.
Not a bad flop for 5-6.
Or 9s or jacks.
No, you could see some action here.
Jim is going to lead.
That's a pretty big bet.
He's going to lead there with the draw.
2 1/4.
2 1/4.
And they gave him back his quarter there. He tried to bet 250, but it was a little string bet. Now Paul's got to decide, do I want a smooth call or do I want to raise it?
Pot's about 450 here. 2 1/4 to call.
This pot's been raised.
And Paul's going to raise. And now back to Rod with the other overpair.
And Rod looks like he's already mucked it.
Well, yeah, he didn't take too long.
Well, that's a quick muck there from pocket 9s.
Yeah, quick muck there from pocket 9s.
This is the problem with your Jim here. What do you do? He's got a backdoor flush draw as well.
And Jim makes the call. The turn is a king. Gonna check. And I don't know how Paul can figure that card hurts him, Dave. I would think that he's gonna bet here again.
Now you got to start putting him in hands. 5-6 is a hand he might have.
Yep.
He could have 9-8. He could have ace-8.
Yep.
King 8's kind of an odd holding in a raised pot, though.
Yep.
I mean, do you check here and to induce the bluff on the river? Or
We're
no?
talking about a $1,400 pot. He's going to continue to bet. It looks like he's betting about $1,500, about the size of the pot.
He's going to try to take it down right now.
So now, the pot's about $3,000, $1,500 to call. Jim's getting about 2 to 1. Doesn't really have that odds for one card to come in.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with going with chasing and going for draws in no limit game.
Yeah.
Rarely do you get the price. If you're playing against a good player, he'll never give you the right price.
Right. And I think we talked about it before, the beautiful, play of certain no-limit players is they know just the amount to bet. They don't even necessarily overbet it. They bet it so that overall they have positive expectation.
Right. Well, exactly. You talk about positive expectation. In this case here, if Jim makes the call or not, if Jim makes this call and beats Paul, it's a correct play by Paul, and it's an incorrect call by Jim.
Right.
And in the long run, if it's done over a lifetime, Paul will win money on this hand.
Right.
This play, theoretically.
I mean, Jim only has an open-ended straight draw here.
No, there's no.
Yeah.
If a harder to come on, maybe you got some other outs, but
and he's gonna monkey.
Yeah.
There you go.
And it's a nice play there by Paul. He wasn't scared by the
Rabbit
overcard.
Cam shows an ace. He did not get there.
I'm going to ask you. No, put it there. I'm going to ask you.
And it's interesting. Had he checked that, you know, to induce the bluff. And the ace comes on the river. That's another scare card for him now. Now he's going, man, I can't beat ace 8. I can only beat an 8. Or a draw, 5-6. Nice play by Paul. And with Patrick out of the game and Jesus taking a break here, we might see a little more straightforward poker.
It's one of those unique situations when we talk about Hold'em, a high blank coming there on the turn. You hear about a lot of Omaha high-low and other high-low games, but in that case, that was a classic example of it.
High blank, yeah, exactly.
80. Raise 280.
Pocket 10s here. Seat 4 is going to raise it up to 80. Most got 8-9 off suit here in the small blind.
3, 5, 6.
And I don't think Mark really has enough money to promote a play around with that hand.
85.
Now Jim could be steaming from the last hand. He's going to make the call. Oh, did the double pump there, Dave. Looks like he wants to make the call, and he is going to make the call with 6-7 off suit.
Yep.
And here we go. And with,
he's
the
in real bad
10's
shape.
dead and Mo's 8-9, it's even less likely that he's going to make
Yeah, he's in really bad shape here.
He flops a pair. Deuce 9-7, all hearts. Jim checks. Pot's about $180.
Look at Mark's face there.
He's going to bet it. He's going to take it down.
Yeah. Jim throws it away before the money even goes out.
Well,
there.
that's always great. You don't never have to figure out how much you need to bet,
Thank you, sir. Yes. You're just coming in, right? Okay. Not buying big blind here, sir?
Well, Bart, I hope you don't get any separation anxiety, but I'm going to take about a 5-minute break and leave you alone here.
Oh, don't leave me, Dave.
But I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Good orange juice. Huh? Play with orange juice.
Play with brown, not yellow.
I'll have brown, orange.
Wow, look at this. I believe that Action Joe from last night has moved into seat 9. And he's picked up ace. And I believe that he's picked up ace-queen suited here.
Yeah, because mine's 10-20. Mine's 10-20.
He just closed it.
Okay.
And look at this 9-8 queen.
Thank you.
Let's check you, sir.
And Rod, who was the original raiser with pocket 4s, he's going to bet. And little does he know that Joe is around there in early position with ace-queen. And the bet looks like it's 160. And Joe is in great shape here. Rod's the original raiser. Joe in the small blind, or in the post position, chose to just smooth call with the ace-queen suited. And let's see if he check raises here. It's kind of a coordinated board. It is a rainbow board.
Hey, Barry.
Action
Might
Joe.
bring the big chips out in front. Thank you, sir.
And I believe that he is raised. No? Has he just made a smooth call? Wow. He's made a smooth call. Very, very interesting there by Joe.
Heads up, fellas.
And Rod doesn't like it. You can see his head shaking. The turn is a 7. And Joe's checked again here. And Rod has checked. And the river's an ace. And now Joe has aces up.
1,000.
And Joe's going to bet here. And he's not going to be able to get. I'm sure Rod's going to mock.
400.
Joe's bet 400. Although, if Rod thought that he might be on some sort of busted straight draw, you never know. No, he's going to let it go. Interesting to see that Joe just smooth called that flop there. And Joe takes it down. Action Joe.
Okay, I got it. You took your small already, right? Yeah, because Joe only posted. I've got 2 big blinds here. Big blind, yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah, come on.
Nothing more short by, guys.
Amazing what happens in 2 hours.
Pocket 4s here for Mo in seat 1. And it looks like Mo has raised here, and he looks like he's going to take it down here.
I was dominated. I had a 4.
You had it out. Good set.
We got a small on the button, small and a big blind.
Small on the button and small big, so we've got 3 posters coming up this hand. Again, we are here live at the bike. We webcast live cash poker every Wednesday through Saturday from 6 to 10 Pacific time. Tonight we are doing a 10-20 no-limit Texas Hold'em game. The minimum buy-in for this game is $1,000. There is no maximum. Brown chips are $10 chips, yellows are 5s, purples are 25s, and whites are 100s. Barry in seat 6 is the big winner tonight. Mo's trucking along there in seat 1. And we are going to see a pot here limped around. Allen in the big blind has ace-jack suited. Chose to check it, I believe. Or Allen actually limped in there under the gun. Oh, King, Queen, 8. Allen's picked up a flush draw and a gut shot. 2 clubs on board. Let's see if Allen can fire at this one. He's got a pretty big draw. And he is.
50.
He's going to bet 50. 50 into an $80 pot.
I didn't reckon with the hand that's this is the same guy. Plus the oldest was more talking.
And I think he's going to take this one down here with the semi-bluff.
How many pieces are there? I don't know.
It's 50 to you, Barry.
I don't want it. Okay. Can I do it for 10?
Barry says, I don't want it 50, I'll do it for 10. Sorry, buddy.
I didn't know it was okay. That's wrong.
Big Allen.
You were hoping he was.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I was like, there's 2 Jesus?
No, he likes
Isn't that crazy? Yeah. He was exactly who you wanted him to be.
Small, big.
Times I've seen him. Yeah, and had it, I can see his face. Oh, Cal Ray's
That's because he's winning usually. You got handle off by 7 or 8 winning.
Allen picks up ace-jack again. This time it's offsuit. Pocket 5s for Barry there. Oh, look at that. Pip. Picture in picture.
Pot's been raised to 80.
Isaac does all kinds of crazy things these days.
Thank you. Come on, that's yours.
That was pretty cool. $80 raise here by seat 4, I believe. He's got ace 4 offsuit. That's Mark.
First card.
Barry's going to make the call.
Now they're both on.
Only I saw the other one. See you both?
We've got exposed cards here by seat 7, King 4 clubs. He's going to
That
muff.
was weird. How did that happen?
And Allen makes the call. And Allen has Mark dominated here.
They keep on trying.
Mark just trying to pick up the blinds with a weak ace. Can't be happy about a couple of callers. And we are going to see a flop. $250 pot. Ace 3-5. Look at this. Barry's hit a set. Allen's hit top pair. Mark's hit top pair with a gut shot wheel draw. This could be some big firework hand here. And Mark is going to bet here. He's going to bet, looks like $225. The pot is $250. And let's see what Barry does. And imagine if he smooth calls. Look at this, he smooth calls. I'm sure Allen's going to call. And Allen's going to call. My goodness. We're looking at about $1,000 pot here. The turn is a queen. See how Barry plays it. And I have a feeling that Mark is going to go broke on this hand. It's a $1,000 pot now. Mark looks like he only has maybe 600 left. And he's going to check and take a card. I think he knows he's behind. And the river is a queen, and Barry's made a full house. And that's an action killer for Barry. You got to think. I mean, if he puts a bet here, he might not get called because of the diamonds. He's going to bet 500 now. Barry played this hand extremely passively. He didn't put any money in the pot, and even though he wins about a $1,000 pot, he's probably going to make the absolute minimum that he could have made. Again, it's not necessarily that you don't slow play because your hand isn't good enough to slow play. It's that one of those magic cards could come that could be an absolute action killer. Alan can't beat the third queen. Mark can't beat the third queen. Both of them can't beat a flush. And I think both players are going to lay this one down. $500 bet on the river. Total pot is $1,500. $500 to call. I mean, if you're sitting there with ace-jack and ace-4, what can you beat on this board? What can you really beat? Barry called a big bet on the flop. It got checked around on the turn, and the river now is a third diamond. And Alan still has to deal with Mark behind him. And Alan's going to lay it down, and I got to tell you, I'm sure Mark is going to lay it down too. And again, obviously, Barry's going to win the hand, but he didn't, by slow playing the turn, an action card came on the river that killed all the amount of money that he could have made, and he shows a set of fives, and he makes the absolute minimum on the hand.
Without the last queen, you would have made more money because
I was hoping it wasn't going to be a diamond.
Small, big.
Of course, tonight's tournament was a $500 stud high-low tournament. We had 128 players, $64,000 total prize pool. First prize was $25,600.
80.
And I have to say, not bad for a crusty old man tournament. $25,000 for first prize. Mo has raised here to 80. He has ace-10 off suit. Doesn't look like he's going to get any action. And Alan and Joe are going to chop this one up.
I don't think that is. Alan, thank you.
We got a new player coming into seat 2.
I need chips on 00. Chip.
His name is Russ, and I believe he's been on the show once or twice before. I believe he's buying in for $2,500.
Thank you.
We got Mo in the big blind. Seat 8. Allen's got the button. Allen's picked up ace-10 off suit. And he's going to raise. Oh, he's going to limp. Would have thought a player would have raised in that spot, but he chooses to limp on the button. And here we go. Three-way action. King 8-4. Joe has second pair here in seat 9. Check, check, check. Turn is a 3. Now Joe's going to bet. Joe's going to bet 40, and he's going to take it down. And unfortunately, Jesus has not come back into the game. Hopefully he'll make it back here. I'm sure they're going to keep the seat locked up indefinitely for him. And this pot is going to get limped around. Four-way action. Queen 5-8. Wow, look at this. Mo and Rod both have flush draws. Mo has a flush draw and a pair out of seat 1. But if he gets there, he's in big trouble. And Mark has top pair, and he's going to bet. Rod also has a gut shot straight draw there. Rod's going to check call. And here we go. Mo has check raised. Mark bet 80, Rod call with the flush draw on the gut shot, and Mo is check raised, I believe, to 400. And Dave, you see the power there of a check raise semi-bluff. And what do you do if you're Rod?
Well, Rod's
got a call.
Rod's also got the gut shot here.
Right.
So, I mean, he's got a lot of hands. But Mo did what he wanted to. He got the best hand out. He got the queen out.
He's about a $1,000 pot. Now, the problem for Mo is if he hits a heart, his flush is lower. The turn is a 4. Now Mo's made 2 pairs with the heart draw.
Yeah.
And Mo's going to move all in.
Well, now Mo's hoping the guy's got a queen, you know?
Yeah. Mo's got 2 pairs and a flush draw. And Rod's going to muck it.
And that's really a great play by Mo.
One card. Which one you want? No, one card. This one.
And he shows him the 8 of hearts.
And the rabbit cam was a 7 of diamonds. So.
Well, that wouldn't have helped.
No.
But that aggressive play there by Mo, some people play a little passively. And what happens is you keep the queen in there and you keep the heart draw in there.
Right.
And Mo's actually in bad shape because he's got a lower flush draw and a lower pair than the queen, but he gets them both to lay the hand down.
Well, you know, he got Mark off of that queen jack.
Right. I mean, it turns out he made 2 pair, but I don't think he needed to make 2 pair to win that. And obviously he didn't.
9 high.
Well, obviously I'm back. And I think Bart is going to take a quick little break right now. Playing 10-20, no limit hold'em, 10-20 blinds. Minimum buy-in is 1,000, unrestricted maximum buy-in.
You're going to laugh at 12 outs. You're going to remember. I know what you have.
And we're not going to see a flop there.
No, I'm not going to go all in. And there was a third guy. Yeah. I mean, there's one call. If I catch it again.
You were blind, boss.
Where's the call? He looked at me. Because if I catch it, he's going to put me right. If I caught my straight, that would have been a perfect card.
And Button is in seat 2. Blinds are $10 and $20.
You're the blind.
Greg lets Mark know in seat 4 that he has the big blind so he doesn't muck his hands.
Why can't you turn me my straight there? I turn the straight, no, you double me up.
And they're talking about the last hand there. Obviously, the flush would have been good too. Flush or straight, either way would have helped.
Oh, because you would have pushed all in. That 4 was the card that gave me the straight.
You're the somebody else. You're the caller.
What's out there? Oh.
You were the action.
And Barry limps in with 9-7 of clubs there. We're going to see it heads up. And Mark's got top pair here. Not much of a kicker, but does have top pair. Barry's got bottom pair. Plus a gut shot straight draw. And Barry's going to make it a $75 bet to go, and Mark's got to decide what he wants to do here. And to me, heads up, this is a check raise moment here, and I think he is going to do that.
How would I lose? If I get the straight. I took it easy and I went 500 so you fall.
Yeah, he does. He check raises him. Looks like another raise, $150. That's a nice play by Mark there. You know, Jack 5, 6, 7-handed. Obviously, you're looking for more than top pair, but against just one opponent, top pair is pretty strong.
But if I catch my turn card, another 75, you double me up. Exactly. 150 more than my size.
Barry's got a lot of outs, though. 7 obviously gives him trips, a 9 gives him 2 pair, and an 8 gives him straight.
$300 to double up. 300 to win 2,000. That's what's going through my head.
But Mark does not have that much money, so might not be worth calling. Not much implied odds here.
This guy didn't bet, it would have been perfect though. You would have checked, he would have checked, I would have checked.
I'll tell you one thing about Barry, you always see him buying in for a lot of money, but rarely do I see him losing a lot of money. And he's going to make the call here. Got about a $450 pot here.
I got it.
To the turn. And it's a 4. And that gives Mark actually a flush draw as well. And Mark's trying to decide what to do here. Mark trying to decide what to do here. His hand's gotten stronger. He's got top pair with a flush draw now. Barry's egging him on here. Barry's hand has gotten a little weaker here because now a 9 of spades is not going to help. The 8 of spades obviously won't help. And Mark is going to go all in. And Barry folds. All that deliberation for nothing. And a pretty exciting development. It looks like I am joined in the booth by a Min Win. And haven't put on the headphones there. How are you, Min?
All right, how are you?
Excellent, excellent. How you been?
Good.
You've had a heck of a run the last 3 or 4 months, huh?
Had a good series.
Yeah.
Made 3-time final tables and finished 1 second.
Yeah, wow, that's pretty impressive. And then you're carrying it right through to the Legends as well, huh?
Yeah, I finished also 3-time final table here and
yeah.
Did 4, 7, and 9.
Well, that's pretty great. Yeah. Well, here we have our live webcast every single day, every Wednesday through Saturday. We show live cash games where you can see the whole cards. And have you watched it before?
No, this is the first time.
This is the first time.
Yeah.
Well, we've got our whole cards there, and tonight we actually have a 10-20 blinds, no limit hold'em game. Minimum buy-in is 1,000 with no maximum buy-in, and it's been a pretty crazy game up till now. And you get to see all the cards up there like that, and we just talk about them. Pretty cool, huh?
It's pretty neat.
Yeah. And here we've got a couple of hearts out there. And Alan in seat 8 is going to raise it up with Queen 8 of hearts, it looks like. No, actually, he's just going to call. Seat 2, Russ in seat 2 is going to make it $100 with the Ace 10 offsuit.
I think King Jack likely gonna call him.
Yeah. Oh, with the King Jack of hearts, he might make a call. So what's been your secret to your success this year? Well, actually, your whole career. I mean, you've been such a phenomenal tournament poker player and live player as well. What's your secret to your success?
I don't play a lot of live games.
Don't, okay.
Mostly tournaments.
Right.
It's patient and take a lot of timing, you know.
Yeah.
Plus, it need a lot of luck too.
Yeah. Well, obviously, it's more than luck for you. I mean, one tournament here or there. I mean, I can see, but you know, a couple of World Series bracelets, numerous final table finishes. Every time I walk into the back room and I see a tournament, you're at the final table.
Sometimes a good luck cycle run like that.
Yeah.
You know? But,
okay.
You also need to you play good. You know, I have to play good to make the final table also.
Right. Obviously.
At a certain point, you get, you know, car run good for you, and you get lucky. I'll flop a lot of other players. So.
Well, you're definitely a player everybody fears when they sit down with you. You know.
No, not really. I mean, nowadays when you play with a lot of new players, most of them don't even know me.
They don't even know you.
No, I mean, sometimes they don't even know what
that shiny World Series bracelet is, and here it is. Get a close-up of Minwin's World Series bracelet. That's what it looks like right there. We'll show it to the camera right there. And that's what we all covet. I know you're also you're on that quest for the Card Player Points Championship, right? Doing pretty well in that.
I think I'm in rank number 8.
Number 8 right now.
Cup, yeah.
And would that mean a lot to you if you could win that?
It would be nice if I can, but it's still a long way to go.
Yeah, a long way to go.
I need to win WPT or one of the
big events there.
To take over John. You know?
Right. Oh, of course. Yeah. Well, he has some great players up there. I know John. I've played with John numerous times. He's an excellent poker player. Very aggressive.
Yeah. His style is very crazy style.
Yeah. How would you categorize your own style? Are you more patient, aggressive? You know, what would you say your biggest the way you play is?
My style is I don't go too crazy with my hand a lot of times.
Right.
You know, I don't win the maximum value with my hand.
Right.
But I don't also go broke with the hand. And that's why I tendency to progress, move up slowly, not like John Fine when he has a hand, or any aggressive player. When they do have hands, they win the maximum value of the hand.
Right.
And usually I don't, you know, I only risk certain chips.
Yeah.
That's why I always slowly build up my chips. Not like a lot of them. Right away they got a lot of chips.
Right. Oh, I mean, the one thing that's always amazing, every time I know I played with you a few times. I know I got to sit down with you at the Pot Limit Hold'em event at the World Series. We were at the same table with Mark Safe and a few players here. Paul here has raised it to $80 with 5-4 of diamonds. Likes to mix it up a little. Paul's a local professional. But I know I played that Pot Limit event with you, and it just seems like every time I'm looking at you and I'm looking at your stack, it's always growing. It really a testament to your poker playing.
Thanks.
And yeah, and I do want to comment that most players in the poker community, I know you're one of the most respected players out there, without a doubt. Well, behind us here, we've got our Bicycle Casino kind of wall of fame here, and we get all our celebrity poker players and poker stars like yourself to sign it. And if you'd be so kind to sign it,
yeah,
that'd be great. We'd appreciate that.
That for you.
Super. Well, thanks a lot, men. Appreciate it.
Raised to
And seat 9 is going to raise it to 110 here. And there is seriously one of the greatest tournament poker players in the game today. And one player I respect, I have the utmost respect for in Min Win there. An excellent player, a really nice guy. And definitely a poker player to be reckoned with.
Yeah, Dave, that was a thrill to have him. He was going to sit down at my Omaha table last night. I asked him if he would come on the show, and he said he would.
Yeah. Right, and Joe takes it down there.
Overcards and a flush draw.
Yeah, they both had the same hand pretty much, but Joe had the flush draw, so he's free rolling. And Min is one of those guys. I've known him for a while now. The first time I met him was I met him playing in the World Series last year, and in the 2004 World Series, we sat down at the same table, and I think I earned his respect by my play, and obviously I've always had a respect for his game. And
right.
Kind of watched him, and then this year again, we sat down at the pot limit and probably played about 3 or 4 hours together.
Mm-hmm.
And he really is just a solid. It's tough to put him on a hand.
Well, the thing is, as far as I know, and someone might correct me, I thought at some point he was the leader in the Card Players Tournament standings, and if not now, at some point, or I know he's at least in the top 5.
He is actually the leader right now in the Legends of Poker.
Right.
In the all-time best player, the best player award here.
But I mean, that's showing that he had at the World Series. Right after that, I thought that he was the highest point getter there in terms of the leaderboard for the Card Players Quest for whatever they give out.
He might have been for a couple of days. There's so many tournaments these days. It's
true.
like,
well, he was telling me that he played the lowball event last night because of the Card Player points and because of the overall points for Legends.
Yeah.
Seat 4 here is raised with Ace-10 of clubs. Allen has called with Ace-King, and Seat 7's in there with Pocket Jacks, so we're going to see a hand here. Just a couple of smooth callers there. Well, 7-5 King. See if Mark fires out at this one. No, he's going to check, and Rod's going to bet with the Jacks. So Mark checks, Rod bets, and Allen looks like he's going to raise all in here, Dave, for however much he's got left.
What happened to Allen's chips? I went out 5 minutes. Where'd they go?
It's 180 more, Dave.
And this is one of those cases where if a guy goes all in here, I mean, can you throw it away or can you put, maybe you think Allen's got a flush draw?
No. Again, I think you got to do that one of those range of hands things.
Right,
If he has a flush draw, obviously, you're at least a 65% jog. But if he has a king, you're really a huge underdog. But he does make the call, though. He does make the call.
He shows him a king.
Turn is a 6 of hearts, and Allen has the ace of hearts in his hand. Rod's going to have to hit a non-heart jack. It's another king. Rod had one out there on the river, Dave.
Yeah, just the jack of clubs.
Yep.
And Min is actually, he makes up, he's one of those Vietnamese poker players. Still working on his English, but it's pretty good. And I tell you, he really is, he used to play live games as well. I know that. But he's seen how lucrative the tournament circuit is, and he's just kind of devoted himself just to playing tournaments. And nobody can question it with looking at his results.
That's what Scott Fishman says he does, too. He doesn't play cash games.
No. I don't think he's ever really... Well, I think when he first started, he played a little bit when he was dealing. But he just plays tournaments. He said he doesn't want to mix it up because it's like two different animals. And there, too, you can't really argue with his results, huh?
Well, it definitely is two different animals. That's why we like to see, can those tournament players come on this show and make the adjustment to it? Mark has raised here with ace-jack out of the big blind. He got called in 2 spots, 5-10-9 on the flop.
Is this half an hour that he left?
Easily half hour.
And he got checked around, Dave. 6 comes on the turn. And Russ now is going to bet with the 9. He's got 4-9. A little bit surprising that Rod didn't bet that in position over there in seat 7 on the flop.
I am.
And now he's just going to, looks like he's just going to fold. And Mark makes the call in between.
Mark makes the call?
Yeah, Mark makes the call, it looked like.
Wow.
Oh, excuse me, he's going to muck. I'm sorry. I thought that the chips out there in the middle were his chips. And he's got a habit of playing with his chips there, and that didn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, it
we
didn't
could
at
see
all.
something like Jesus making the call.
And I'm looking at the flop going,
how can
he's
he make
making
the
a call? What's he
without
making a call?
turn?
A nice bet by Russ there.
Yeah.
You know, he probably didn't love his hand, but then when everybody checked, he goes, maybe my hand's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to me, in a no-limit game, if you're in position, you don't even necessarily need a hand to bet. But if you have a hand, go ahead and bet it.
So seat 3 has moved to seat 5.
Paul's moved to seat 5, yeah.
So Paul's in seat 5. Has Jesus left the game since I was?
Jesus apparently has left the building.
Yeah. It's always a little upsetting. Well, we're going to see kind of some more textbook poker then, at least, Dave. Compared to
exactly.
some of the earlier stuff that we saw on the show.
And one thing I'll just say, and I say this with the utmost respect because I'm actually good friends with Min, and he's a great guy, and I have the utmost respect for him. But speaking of his broken English, look what he signed here. Get luck. And obviously we saw that he was a little uncomfortable in front of the camera, I think. But certainly not uncomfortable on the at the poker table. And I think Allen's picked up the nut flush draw here.
He has. And Russ has got a flush draw, too.
And Russ is going to bet it on the button here. Nice bet.
And Allen's going to pull the check call here.
The ever dangerous check call.
Turn is a 6. See if Russ takes a free card in position. No, he's going to continue to bet.
Interesting that he didn't take the free card there, because the only draw out there was a spade draw, and since you have a spade draw, the odds of your opponent having a spade draw are obviously slim. You'd more likely put Allen on a 10.
Now Allen check calls, and there's the spade. Both players have made a flush.
Well, Allen's going to...
Look at this. I think he checked it, Dave. He checked the flush, the nut flush. And now Russ has bet 300 here at the end. The pot's about $1,000, 300 to call. You would assume that Allen's probably going to check raise all in here.
That's a dangerous check raise. I can't believe he made that play.
Again, a 3 of spades here on the river, and he is. He's going to check raise.
And here
spades.
It is.
Yep, and he's going to make the call, and there we go. Nut flush over queen high flush. Allen's going to take it down.
Wow. And Allen got lucky. The guy obviously had a flush and bet it.
Right.
Unless Allen put a read on him, but I'm really surprised he check raised the river.
Yeah, me too. I mean, because again, a lot of people just shut down there on the river.
Well, if the guy has Jack 10 or something, he's going to shut down. He's certainly not going to bet that.
Yeah, I don't really like the check raise there on the river.
No, I mean there are times to do it, but that's not one of them.
No. New player there in seat 3, J.A.B.
And it's funny, sometimes we talk about getting some of these great tournament players in here to do hand analysis also. But the funny thing is that, most of these players, like in Min's case, obviously he could do hand analysis, but at the same time, he's better equipped to do it in a tournament than in the cash game, because he just doesn't play cash games anymore.
Right. King 7 here, rainbow flop. Doesn't look like anyone's got a king.
No, Mark's got, I'm sorry, 10-9. I thought it was part. Thought it was 10-10.
But J.A. there in seat 3, he's going to bet. He's got absolutely nothing.
He's got a pair draw.
40.
And this,
80, sorry.
I hear Jab is a internet virgin.
in terms of this show. Look at this. Barry's going to make the call with ace high. Wow.
Yeah. So there's Jab. We're going to pop his cherry tonight.
Oh, the turn is a club. Now Barry's picked up a flush draw. But look at this. Seat 3's got an open-ended straight draw. It goes check, check. And the river is a 5. Barry makes a backdoor flush. 7, 8, 5 of clubs. And, you know, he's going to bet, but he's not going to be able to get picked up. Barry's milking it here.
And
looks like he's going to bet 230.
JAV actually is can't call with 10 high, obviously.
Would have been interesting if a 6 had come on the river there, 6 of clubs.
Yeah.
And actually, seat 3's name is JAV. That's his initials there. So we'll stop calling him Jab.
Jab. Call him Jab.
Well, of course, it's always fun to have a live interacting forum, Dave. You know, you can go to 2+2, click on Tournament Poker, World Poker Tour, and other televised tournaments, and we are right there. And we have our common critics, actually, you know, 1 or 2 specific people that like to give us a hard time, usually nightly on the thread.
Oh, I look forward to that.
Pocket aces here for Mo in seat 1.
120.
Seems like whatever you do, you can't please everyone, Dave.
Of course not.
Yep. Mo is raised to 120. Now, Joe, we saw him muck pocket 4s before. He has pocket 2s, and he mucks. Now, not a bad muck against someone like Mo, but then again, last night I questioned the fact, does he understand the concept of implied odds? He's a limit hold'em player.
Well, I think it's also implied odds against Mo, and you got to look at it and
absolutely.
go,
Absolutely in that case.
is Mo going to pay me
Right.
up? And Mo is one of the few players that can get away from aces.
Right. Absolutely.
You know? So, and there we have a chip count here. Barry just continues to climb. Look at that. Up to 8,800 already. Mo's still there with 6,000. Paul likes to buy in for a lot, and he's got about 4,500. And seat 3 obviously is not open anymore. It's Jav. And we'll get a total on him, and we're hearing that Jav is bought in for 4,000.
Look at Barry in seat 6. My goodness.
Yeah, he's on fire today.
Yeah.
Him and Mo are just obviously the big winners today so far.
Kev Math on 2+2 has written that Minwin is 7th or 8th here in terms of card player point standings.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, a lot of these great poker players, and obviously I know a lot of them, and so do you. Some of them obviously are really nice guys, some of them aren't, and obviously you get all types in every field.
Right.
Min just happens to be, and the reason I heap so much praise on him is he just happens to be such a genuine guy. Really, really generous, and you know, he's never taken a shot, he's never angle shooting anybody, just goes about his business. And really one of the most likable and well-respected in the poker community.
Cat? This one too?
Three-way action here to the flop. Ace 2-7, 3 flush. Jav has got a queen of spades there. C3.
This is one of whoever bets is going to get it. Oh,
got checked around. Turn is a 9.
Jav's got to like his hand here.
Yeah. And Joe's got a smaller flush there in seat 9. Jav has bet 40. And look at this. I think Joe is going to check raise here, Dave. And he is. So he's representing, if you're sitting there, Jav, you're wondering, does the guy have a king? I mean,
where's the button? I'm trying to figure that
Dave,
out.
it's in seat 8. Seat 7.
So that if he did have a king of spades, that is a hand he would have checked in an early position.
3 more 100.
And he's check raised to 300. And now Jav's got a decision to make.
Well,
It was a $40 bet. There isn't much money in that pot. And look at this. He's going to come over the top, it looks like.
And that's his decision.
1,500 more. I don't believe you, Action Joe, in seat 9.
I got to tell you, though. I got to tell you, if I have the queen of spades here, I'm calling, because if the guy has me beat, he's going to raise me, or he's, you know.
Yeah.
If he doesn't have me beat, he's going to throw his hand away. I'd rather have Joe bluff at me again.
Well, it looked like it was 1,500 more, but
let's give him a break. It is his first time.
Yeah, I don't know what he's trying to do here. He put out 3 pink purple stacks there. It's 500 more. 500 more in there.
And you understand that play there?
Joe's
It's
get
letting
away from
Joe
it.
off the hook here.
Yeah.
Because Joe's got to bet the river now.
Right.
If he doesn't, you know?
Right.
And obviously, if Joe had the king, he'd move all in.
Right.
It's kind of a...
No, I know what you mean.
There's
Like
no point in raising
you
now.
make this raise. Now, if Joe flat calls you and moves all in on the river, you can't call, right?
Yeah, well, just he's going to... I think Java's going to call anyway. I don't think Java's thinking he's just going, I have the queen of spades. I just don't see any... There's no... Yeah, there's nothing you can gain out of doing this play.
Joe's going to lay it down there.
I'm just curious, had Jav just smooth called him, how much Joe would have bet on the river?
I think you just call and call there, right, Dave? And hope the guy doesn't overbet you so much that you don't make the call on the river.
Yeah, I like the check call. If you think the guy's bluffing, then you're in the check call mode.
Or you're in position, so just call
just
and
call. Right.
Yeah.
And if the river comes out, and if he checks to you, well, then you put a nice little value bet in there. And then maybe Joe thinks he's bluffing.
Wow, Mo's got pocket queens, and he looks like he's in the blind there. Actually, seat 5 raised with ace queen, and Mo smooth called. And look at this, Russ has picked up trip 6s. So Paul's the original raiser in seat 5. Mo smooth called with queens. Both players check, and let's see if Mo check raises here with the overpair. Oh, Mo's just going to call. Maybe he's wanted to see what Russ does. So Mo's playing it slow pre-flop.
Interesting that he didn't raise Paul there.
And it looks like Russ is going to check raise. It's 325 straight now, Dave. $125 bet.
Nobody has a spade in their hand at all. So
now, obviously, Paul's going to go away, but Mo, he's got an overpair. He makes a quick call, Dave. He's in trouble. The turn is a 3.
Doesn't have much money though.
Yeah, he's gonna bet him. Well, it looks like he's got another stack of whites there though.
He does. He's got about 1,500.
Mo has bet $800.
And I got to be honest, if I'm
the pot's about 900, so the pot's about 1,800, 800 to call now, Dave.
If I'm Russ, there's no point in screwing around. Move all in. Because Mo has basically pot committed himself with that $800 bet.
Well, do you worry about something like 4-5, 6 with a higher kicker?
You know what though? If I'm playing this game,
yeah,
and I flop trips against I got to move here. There's no way I'm getting rid of this hand.
Oh, because you only have like $1,100 or $1,200
I got $1,100, $1,200. I got trip 6s here.
It's not like you've got 50,000 behind you, right?
I mean, are you going to fold this hand?
He's going to call it. Oh, he's going to move all in, it looks like.
Yeah, and that's
all in over
that's
the
the only
top.
play here.
Yeah.
And it's another about $750 here. Now it's the question is, can Mo lay it down for $750 more?
Well, now when he moves all in, Dave, it's about $660 more. So you're talking about a pot that's about $3,300 to $3,500, and Mo does call $600 to call, and Mo makes the call, and I think they're running it multiple times. A 5 comes on the river there.
That gives Russ a straight.
And a 9, so Russ wins all 3 times.
He takes all 3.
And when you say running it more than one time, just for our viewers, what exactly is that?
Of course, you're talking about basically it's a form of hedging the bet there, Dave. Back in the, as you say, the old times of No Limit, when No Limit wasn't as popular, when somebody went broke, it could break the game. A couple people go broke, it breaks the game. So when you're on big types of draws for a lot of money, it's a way of reducing the variance. So they actually split that pot into thirds. And each time that they run the cards, whoever wins that time wins 1/3. So the first time, whoever wins that river card wins 1/3 of the pot. Second third, whoever wins that wins 1/3 of the pot, and so on. Same thing if you only run it twice, you split the pot in half.
Right.
Now in that case, Mo was drawing pretty much to the case queen.
Right. Well, they actually decided to run it 3 times before they revealed what they had.
Right.
So I think both sides thought, well, maybe he's got the spade draw. Maybe he's got some sort of draw.
Mm-hmm. So Russ makes a pretty big score there.
Yeah, interesting. Mo couldn't get away from the overpair there. He lost himself about a 2,000. He lost about 2,000 chips there, $2,000. Nice pot there, almost 4,000. I'd say over 4,000, right, for Russ?
He decided to play it slow. Remember, pre-flop, did not re-raise with the queens. I think he was trying to trap Patrick.
And he ended up trapping himself.
Yeah. Mo is. Joe has raised here out of seat 9. He's got ace-3 suited. And seat number 3 there, he's got ace-king suited. And he's going to re-raise, it looks like. So Jav's re-raised to 300 total. Joe brought it in, I believe, for 75. Oh, it's 300 more, and Joe's going to call with the ace-3 suited. Wow. And look at that. We see that all 3 of the aces are dead. So Joe calls with ace-3 suited.
He picked up a wheel draw. I like the bet by Jav there.
Jav's
got ace-king out of position. You got to keep firing at it like you have an overpair.
It's a $500 bet. Pot's about 1,200, 500 for Joe to call.
I think Joe was hoping that maybe he could use his position to win this pot, but
well, if he was,
but Jav made a nice play. Jav bet at it. It's about a $600 pot, and Jav threw 500 at it, thinking maybe his ace-king is still good.
And again, the stacks in this game aren't necessarily so deep. If Joe re-raises, say, all in 2,000, if Jav had an overpair, would he lay it down? That's the question. Now, obviously, he would lay it down if Joe, because Joe doesn't know that he has ace-king.
Now, there's Jav's stack. He's about a 3,000.
Yeah,
they both have pretty
deep
here.
stacks, yeah. So,
and if Joe can put this guy on ace-king or ace-queen, that's why he's thinking maybe I can make this move or not. Obviously, he knows ace-3 is not the best hand.
Well, I think, again, you have to go through it. If the guy has kings or aces and I make this move, can he lay it down? And he said raise, Dave, and look at this. He's going over the top.
He's putting him on ace-king.
1,500 total. So it's another 1,000.
He's using his position here.
Look at Jeb's face. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, he's obviously put Jav on ace-king, correctly put Jav on ace-king. And it's kind of a semi-bluff because he's got a wheel draw.
Backdoor flush draw.
And obviously still a pair of 3s would give him the win. Well, this is a tough, there's no spades out there. And look at that. Great work by Isaac here. Look at that. I tell you, the technicians here, time and time again, they surprise me. It's amazing.
The technicians?
Fabulous, yeah. Yeah, you'd think we've got like 25 people working for us.
And look at that, Jav's going to lay it down there. Wow.
Great play.
It's a good play by Joe.
Well, it's the only way to play. If you're going to call with ace-3, you got to be prepared to make a play like that.
Yeah.
And Joe correctly put him on just 2 big overcards and took the pot away.
Well, again, I don't know necessarily if it's 100% totally correct. Put him on that. If Joe made that play and the guy had aces, would he call for 1,000 more?
No, without a doubt, but he didn't have aces.
Yeah.
Joe put him on a hand and he got him. I got to give him credit in that case. Obviously, I imagine that Jav is going to call with pocket aces or pocket kings. Obviously, we're not familiar with Jav's play, so we don't know. But
right, no, absolutely.
Oh. Well, that's that was about, I'm trying to think, about $800 that Joe earned. $300 pre-flop and then a $500 bet that Jav bet on, and that's $800 he just completely earned. Well done.
Get a big scramble?
I guess he was willing to gamble there, huh?
Wow. Well, all he had was a wheel draw, like you said. You wonder if you made the same move if you didn't have any type of draw.
Yeah, I think if some high cards would come out, like a king or a queen, would come out. If a king or a queen would come out, I don't think he makes that play, obviously.
Did I have option or did I not?
Yes, we do.
Did you ask me, did I...
Oh, look at this.
Did I say check?
The dealer went around, and Alan said, I think Alan was posting, Dave, and Alan's got jack, so he wants to raise.
They have
And I don't think he was ever given the option.
Call. I have not said anything. I have not taken any...
And what happened here was, Alan posted,
Right.
and it went right around him, and two players folded after Alan.
So there was two actions, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But Alan never got a chance to act on his hand, so...
For a misblind, and the past action to him already is, and he asked me, I have an option.
I am waiting for her to ask me.
Obviously, these dealers are human, so...
And everybody folds, and I'm saying, hey, do I have option or not?
He posted, she never asked him is correct. The action came all the way to check from the big blind, and then he said, you're supposed to ask me, I want to raise.
I asked, what is my option? Do I have option or not? I have not said anything. I have not made any move. I have not...
I understand. Unfortunately, we didn't call time quick enough, Alan. We already got several people to act behind it already.
All right, I'll respect your word, but that can happen so fast. I'm not going to... No, I respect your word, but that can happen so fast that I'm not going to...
And in the realm of poker, Dave, it's kind of similar to baseball where you throw the next pitch, you can't appeal. Usually when there's two actions afterwards,
Right.
the action's going to stand.
Yeah, and in this case, I actually liked the ruling because there was action afterwards. Joe had acted, Mo had acted, and the blinds had acted.
Right.
And it's not fair for Alan then to take advantage of the new knowledge he knows.
A lot different from what we saw before when the big blind was trying to raise.
And there was obviously no action after the big blind. You're completely right.
So we're going to see a flop here, 7-10 deuce. So everyone knows that Alan wants to raise, and now he's going to bet.
Not a bad flop with pocket jacks.
Yeah. Then he's going to take it down. He wouldn't have. It didn't look like he was going to get called.
That's the most money he was going to win anyway, right?
Yeah.
Well, that was. I mean, I'm really excited about that play by Joe. That was really a great read that the guy had over. I think he was hoping that he had overcards, and he read him right. Wow.
I have the option. If I have twice, I missed my option. Twice. I was going to play P2's hand, lost the option. You know, it's just in a row. And
Oh, look at this. Russ has got the cigar in his mouth now. Nothing like that cigar, cigarette prop, a la Amir Vahidi. Looks like he's smoking more of a skinny cigar, like maybe a hard Italian cigar, Dave. Amir Vahidi, he's got those fat. Man, those things are big. Oh, we love live at the bike.
We get all kind of characters here. I'll tell you one thing, being a writer as well, and being a poker player, the most amazing thing is when I sit down at a poker player, I'm watching it in this case, you get all types of characters. You know? Nowhere else do you get this kind of mix of eclectic people. It's amazing.
5-way action, $100 pot. Limped around, 8 Jack Queen Rainbow.
Russ has flopped a open-ended straight draw here.
And he's in the cutoff, and he's going to bet 100 in position.
It's a nice use of position there. He's semi-bluffing. It's a real tough call for Joe there with just pocket fives.
Now here, you know, we said we'd like the move before by Joe, but here I don't know if you might want to pick your spots a little better. Look at this, though. He's going to raise, Dave. This guy's crazy.
Yeah.
He's going to check raise with pocket fives.
He's got the best hands.
Looks like 500.
500 more.
500 more. Now Russ has got an open-ended straight draw.
Russ has got a cigar. That's all he needs.
Now he's bet 100. So the pot's 700, 500 more to call.
Now you can see the pattern of where Russ has won money. Russ won money when he flopped trips, and he's lost money where he's chasing draws, chasing straights, chasing flushes. Let's see what he does here. Let's see if he learns from that.
Now, obviously, if he came over the top, I don't think that Joe could call.
No, definitely not. But I think this is...
How about he just calling, though? He's just going to call.
So you can't call this, I don't think.
He's got so many outs, though, that he doesn't even know. I mean,
But he
a king,
doesn't
a
know
10,
that. He can't
a
think
9.
Right, he can't think
and look
of
at that.
tens,
He's made the nut straight. But the thing about, I mean, Joe's going to have to, I mean, if Joe takes any heat now, he knows. But look at this. He's going to fire 1,000.
This is an easy, smooth call situation.
Yeah?
Easy. He's got position on Joe.
Yeah.
Joe's going to have to bet the river also. Put a little acting job on, take a second or two, think about it, and then move all in.
No, he's gonna push all in.
And he's going to scare away his only caller.
Yeah,
He's going to scare away the bluffer.
Obviously, Joe's going to muck here. And he quickly mucks.
There you go. Easy come, easy go, Joe.
Well, again, we talk about usually the theme of this, the theme, Dave, of this show is not to slow play, but you're saying in that case you think it's a
heads
play.
up. Well, heads right. Heads up. You've got position on Joe. Joe bluffs $1,000 into you, right?
Yep.
Now you're hoping he has 2 pair or something, right? But the ace might be a scary card,
right,
for him because let's say he had Queen Jack or just a Queen, say, Let Joe do it again. Maybe you'll bet another 1,000 into the river. Then make the move.
So Joe actually burned off there, Dave, about $1,500. That's why I say, you might want to pick your spots a little. I mean, once you get called, when you check raise with 5s, boy, you're in a tough spot out of position. Right?
Yeah.
It's just. Seat number 7 has raised to 80 with pocket 8s.
Obviously, the check raise is obviously not a bad play. But then an ace comes out and you're going, man, that completes any draws. That completes pair. I mean, it's scary.
Russ is going to call with pocket 7s there in seat 2.
And what do you do if you're Paul with ace king there?
Yeah, Paul's got ace king.
And I believe he's in the small blind.
He's offsuit. Sometimes I just like to complete and see what happens here out of position. That's what it looks like he's going to. Looks like he's going to do that. Or he's going to call the raise. And here we go. 7s, 8s, ace king. I like ace king here.
$240 pot.
Wow, 4-8-4. Rod, the original raisers, flopped a full house.
Not a terrible time to slow play a little.
And Rod checks, and he's going to get Russ to bet here with 7s.
It's not a bad bet it's not a bad flop for Russ, is it?
He's going to bet 150. Paul's going to move away. And now if you're Rod, it's all about the extraction job you need to do. He's probably just going to check call here.
This is a different case. Rod does not have position on Russ. So if he checks it again, he can't count on Rod betting it.
Well, the turn is a king. And Rod is checked again.
And Russ has got to check this.
And Russ does check. And the river is a jack. So there you go, Dave. Now Rod's going to put a bet in, and Russ probably is not going to call.
Of course not. He can't beat anything.
So Rod, like you said, this is a different situation. He didn't really maximize his value here out of position.
Well, you're out of position.
It's a $400 bet here.
I would have almost rather have a check raise on a flop or something. Or
Russ is really thinking about calling here.
I mean, if you replay the hand back to the flop,
yeah. What would he have check called with on the flop?
Right. There's no draw there.
Yeah.
If the guy called you with an overpair, over cards, or the king and the jack came.
Right.
I mean, right now the only hand you can beat that somebody would have raised pre-flop with is ace queen. Right? That's it.
Boy, Russ is taking a long time there.
Well, he's replaying this. This guy, he certainly didn't play it like he has eights full. And Rod did raise it pre-flop, so he's trying to think of what kind of hand might he have. Does he have ace king? Does he have ace jack?
Oh, man, if he's reaching to raise, Dave, he's in big trouble. I thought he was going to reach for a stack there for a second.
He's going to call, though.
He's going to call.
And that's a crying call.
Oh. You look at Rod, I love sometimes, I just find it a little bit funny when poker players slow play a lot of hands and they're so proud of themselves when they get paid off at the end.
Well, he got paid off there, so.
Yeah.
I don't mind slow playing a full house when you flop a full house. I don't mind slow playing it a little bit. But if you're out of position, it's a tough spot because when you check it, the other player can check it. If you're in position, well, you're the last one to act. And obviously, if a player checks into you, you don't have to give him that free card. Well, the Great Cigar experiment didn't work there, huh?
Not quite.
And Jav is going to raise here with a couple of ladies. He's got queens.
He's raised to 70. Barry's got a suited ace. He looks like he's going to come in.
Well, why not? Jav's got a lot of money in front of him. He's got position on him.
And we're heads up. $150 pot. Queens against ace-7 to the flop. Deuce, deuce, 5.
Now, this is kind of bored. If you check raise him thinking he's got ace-king, he ain't going to go anywhere with queens here. Well, actually, I take that back.
Yeah, Barry didn't have position.
He didn't.
No.
And in that case, I don't like the call.
I would shove in a bit on the turn.
That and the flop came out deuce, deuce, 5.
Right. No, he did not have position. That's why I questioned it first.
Yeah, okay. It's also one of those tough hands. You don't know what you're... Obviously, with the ace-7 of hearts, hearts are good.
In the move that you made on me last Sunday, take that flop, for example. Deuce, deuce, 5. Let's say that there was a 2 flush out there, and I had raised with an overpair, and you called with 5-6, or excuse me, deuce 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever. You flop trips. I think that powerful mini raise to double the size of my bet can just represent so many things that throws somebody off. And if you have a guy with an overpair and you think that, and then the guy thinks that you might be raising to get a card for a flush draw, or maybe you've got pocket 7s, or ace 5, he comes over the top of you. You have it.
Right. No doubt. Well, the minimum raise, which is not effective in tournaments as much. Somebody goes, why is he raising the minimum in tournament?
Right.
Because tournament chips aren't real cash, obviously.
Right.
But in a cash game, if somebody bets 150 and you make it 300, it's still a $150 raise. I mean, that's real money, real cash.
Seven, 3, 4 on the flop here. The turn is a jack. And Barry had called there with just overcards, Dave. And Mo, he's going to continue to bluff here, it looks like. He's got a gut shot to the 5. What was Barry doing in there on the flop? Ace jack off suit.
I think he kind of knew a jack was going to come on the turn.
And he's going to call. Oh, he's going to raise. I'm sure Mo is going to throw this one down the tubes. He's raised 500 more. And Barry's going to take it down.
Now, had Allen with top pair there, had he raised at flop, probably would have taken it away from everybody right on the flop. But instead, he let Barry sit around there, catch his jack. Just a reminder, tomorrow Legends of Poker event is Limit Hold'em, $500 entry. Starts at 4:15 p.m. And it should be a great tournament.
Pot is limped around here, Dave.
Looks like it's 5-handed right now. That would be a $100 pot. Lines are $10 and $20.
Here we go. $100 pot, ace, 6, jack. Mark and Mo both have top pair. Mark's got a better kicker. And they got checked around. Mark did not bet there out front with ace 10. A king comes on the turn. And again, now even with ace 4 with the king on the turn, Dave, I don't necessarily know if Mo is going to bet. He doesn't. He checks again. And Mark bets with the ace 10.
But no, seriously, you went like this. Is that a check?
I don't know if you want just.
No, I'm just asking.
I didn't see. I have no idea.
Ask me.
Well, obviously you're going to say no.
It's not a check.
That's exactly
You know, Rod over there, he's still bitching about that check ruling, Dave.
Yeah. Still upset about that.
Yeah. See if Mo gets away from this. No, he's gonna call.
Actually, yeah, he called.
This could be a chop pot. Let's see what happens. The river's a 4. How about this? Mo's gonna take it away with aces up.
Oh, wow.
And Mo is checked again. And look at this. Mark's gonna bet. He's gonna bet 100, and Mo just calls. Wow, Mo check calls the river.
What a river! I got it there.
Huh.
I got it there.
I didn't think that Mo was really comfortable with that hand.
Yeah, I don't mind a check call there, obviously, because
If he check raises,
well,
right?
there's a whole bunch of hands. I mean,
Yeah.
if he raises, what's the guy going to call you with? He's not going
Right.
to call you with one pair, is he?
Right.
And I mean, I guess you could throw a little value when you raise in there, but it's not a terrible play.
Jack comes there. 6. King comes there. We're gonna start. Okay.
What? 3 outs.
3 outs.
Flat outs.
Wow, look at Barry, 8,800. He's up over 4,000, Dave, I think. Oh, just about 4,000. Mo is still up, though. He's up a couple grand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's up a ground. He did give away about $1,500 in that one pot to Russ.
And Mark is still kicking around there. Now he's back down to 400.
Paul keeps raising in chips, but I haven't seen him win a pot. I think he just keeps buying in for more.
Yeah.
You know what they say? If you can't win the chips, just buy in for more. There you go.
Well, that's the beauty of the cash game. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 7-way action here. $140 pot. Queen 3-3. No one has a 3, but Mo's got a queen. He's on the button. And he's going to throw a little feeler bet out there. Bet 125.
Pot's $140, so he's betting just a little under the pot.
Yeah.
No draw out there, so he knows he gets called. He's in bad shape.
Yeah, if someone makes a move here, Dave. And Rod, he's counting chips out.
He's thinking about it.
No. What about Joe? Oh, Joe's going to get away.
I was thinking of raising.
No, my heart is so weak. I gotta call 911 first, and then.
And plays here every day and doesn't exercise. Yeah, really.
I'm learning from Alan. I'm doing.
Can you see the silhouette there underneath Mo's yellow shirt of his undershirt?
There it is, yeah.
Disturbing.
Little tank top there, his little muscle shirt. Mo's showing it off.
I know you do.
And Mo's talking about Rod. Rod gave him a little bit of a heart attack there.
It's a good thing I laid it down, huh? God, I wish I'm hand leg.
Queen 3 Expo.
Would that have been a good hand last time?
Yeah, that's good. I can't read that, but I did.
I would call.
120.
And look at this. C3 is going to raise here out of the small blind with 8-9 suited.
It's just an odd play there.
Paul's got ace-queen.
Raise
the gun.
Raise 120 with a suited connector out of position.
Joe's got a gap-suited connector. He's going to come in. Paul calls with the ace-queen under the gun. But a lot of times I'll muck that hand, especially to a razor in the blind, Dave.
Yeah, in the blind, yeah.
Here we go to the flop. Ace-4-5. Because now, you know, if Jav bets, which it looks like he's going to do, what does Paul do? You get a raise here to figure out where you're at?
Yeah, it's...
We bet 200.
He's going to bet 200. That's kind of a weak bet into that pot.
Yeah, the pot's only 360 here. If he had ace-king,
yeah,
you'd think he'd bet more than that.
Yeah, and look at this. Yeah, Paul's going to come over the top here.
5 more hundreds.
And he's going to make it 500.
And Paul,
I don't know if he's raised to 500 or 500 total. So it's 500 more, actually.
500 more. Well, and it's kind of a bet of, I think I got the best hand, but let me just make sure. And it's still one of those hands, though, if Jav were to move all in here, Paul's a good enough player, he'd probably lay down ace-queen.
Well, that's why I'm a little surprised that he played that, early position there.
Yeah, I think he might be a little frustrated. He hasn't played many hands. He hasn't been getting many in good position. Oftentimes when somebody raises out of the blind, it also signifies somebody has a pair.
Yeah, that's true too. Like nines or tens or something.
Exactly.
Like that.
Wow, Mo's got aces. Mo's got a couple of black bullets in there. And he's got position. Let's see what he does.
100.
And look at the difference in Mo's bet here. Earlier on, when Patrick and Jesus were at the table, he raised it $250 with the same hands. But here, with this lineup, he makes it $100 with aces. And he's in pretty good shape because...
Yeah, look at it. Everyone's sharing each other's cards.
Yeah, exactly. King, queen, queen,
These are the
jack,
types of
and
hands you don't
jack.
really want to take for raises, Dave. Again, we talk about high pain.
Oh.
Flop's a set. Ace, king, 5.
Yeah, but look at this, though. Jav has got second pair with the nut flush draw.
He does. Mo's going to bet.
And Allen has a second nut and second draw with the jack of hearts.
Mo bets 500 here.
And the pot is already $400. It's now $900.
Again, this is one of these types of situations where even if somebody goes over the top of you all in with top set, normally you call because of the redraws. But look at that. Jav mucks. He mucks the hand.
With a pair
Second
and
pair.
and nut flush draw.
If you're going to call with king, queen offsuit, what are you looking for? Right?
Yeah.
I don't quite get it.
I think he just wants it to be like, king 4 or 5.
But, I mean, he would have been in trouble, though, because Mo's got the overpair.
Well, he's steady no matter what.
Allen's going to muck.
And Joe can't call here. Wow. And the two scary hands, Mo gets out of. Well, hopefully our dealer will show us what would have been on the turn in the river here. Joe's thinking about it, but not really. I can't imagine him calling.
Nope.
And
You guys lose. You guys show one card. You guys lose. No, I had
the turn in the river.
Turn was a queen.
Queen and a 5.
Queen and a 5.
I had to.
No, neither one was a heart. So Mo would have held up.
Unbelievable.
You'll see tomorrow if you will take it.
I had the jack of heart, and I know if I get it, I get it. Yeah, it was miss one, miss all. It would be a pure gamble for me.
Would have been interesting there had Jav made a move on him and had raised him, like say another $2,000. What Mo would have done with top set there? Obviously not having a heart in his hands.
He's saying he has jack of hearts. He's lying. He's not lying. He's not telling the truth. He's not lying. He's not lying. He's not telling the truth.
He doesn't remember what he had.
Once again, we are live at the bike. I am David Tuckman. I'm here with Bart Hansen tonight.
Jack of heart.
We are live, unedited, unscripted. Russ is going to make it $75 with King 8 of Hearts. Would have been a really good hand last hand, but this time there's no flop and he takes it down before the flop even hits. Once again, we're watching a 10-20 no-limit hold'em game, 10-20 blinds. Minimum buy-in is $1,000. There is no maximum. And probably somewhere in the neighborhood of $40,000 on the table right now.
Actually, 36,180, Dave.
What are you, the Rain Man?
Well, I just ran out there and I counted it.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Ran out there and I counted it. Pocket queens for seat 9.
Oh, there's Joe. Joe with the ladies. Paul's got a couple of pocket. Paul's going the speed limit here. He's got pocket 5s in seat 5. Let's see if he takes one off here. Let's see if he calls a raise.
Well, Joe actually just limped in under the gun. He was trying to do the limp re-raise and he didn't get there.
Oh, shit.
King, Jack 10.
Wow.
So Joe's over there in seat 9 with pocket queens.
There is an overcard to him, but he's open-ended here.
And it got checked. Turn is an 8. And now he's going to throw a bet out. He's bet $100.
And Barry's got an ace high here.
Yep. And he's got a man purse slinged around his shoulder.
Win come, you lose. A couple of more calls. I have to call you. Jack's calling for 9. You gave it. I didn't draw. Oh, I'm not going to do it another time. Then I'll get in at the beginning of the game. Show the other side. Show the other side.
And Joe's showing the queens.
There you go.
He was calling. I had 26. He had 29. He was calling every hand. He doesn't want to miss any hand.
Well, we see it all.
We do see it all.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Some of the other types of things that you see in those fanny packs, I've seen Gore have the hand sanitizer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the alcohol.
Yeah.
And then just wads of cash.
Wads and wads.
And you know, like an iPod, like you said. And, you know. Yeah, maybe some chapstick.
Well, yeah, basic accessories, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe we can get Paris Hilton in here, talked about poker accessories. I mean, if you can't accessorize, what's the point of playing?
Right.
Raise.
Barry's going to raise here.
He's got Queen Jack offsuit here.
He makes it 80 to go.
Buys himself the button, though, by raising. He gets the next player who's on the button to fold.
Look at Joe there, out of position, calling with 9-5 suited. And Mo's going to come in. He's got pocket 5s.
Do you have an extra 5 with the
Wow, Jab's in there with a weak ace, Dave. And Paul's got King 10 suited.
It's one of those things Paul goes, well, all those callers. Okay, I'll call now.
So now the pot's about $400.
Let's see the flop here.
5 players.
7-7-4. Look at that. Jab has flopped trips. Joe's got a flush draw. It looks like Joe's going to fire right into it. He's going to bet $100 with his flush draw. Mo's going to leave. Oh, Jab must not have ace-7 then. I'm sorry about that. Because he quickly mucked.
Yeah. I think one of the little red dots was hidden behind that. It was ace-8, obviously.
Okay.
But
so Joe's going to bet up here from up front.
Like we always say, this is live here.
Yeah.
Raise.
And even
look at this,
sometimes-
Barry. I think Barry's going to raise.
Is he really? Wow.
Yeah.
400.
And he's going to raise to 400.
Well,
So he's definitely representing an overpair.
He's
here,
representing tens or jacks,
Yeah.
right in that range. Even queens. You know.
Dave. You think he would smooth call with something like aces or kings, you mean?
No, I think he'd raise that too at the same. I mean, it's obviously representing a big pair, though. Now we obviously know he has queen jack off suit, but maybe he thinks he's got 2 queens.
So I think it's about, Joe's going to make the call. Wow.
Wow.
Here we go to the turn. Turn's a deuce.
If you're going to keep representing, you got to represent.
You know, if Joe makes a big move here on the turn, you would think that you might get Barry off of an overpair.
If you want to play it like it's an overpair, you're going to have to bet about $1,500 here.
Well, he's betting 600.
Ah.
Look at this. Joe quickly calls.
It's not believable.
Quickly calls. He's got a. Does he have a gut shot there too? No, not quite. Turn it. The river is a jack. And now what does Joe do?
Well, Queen High was the best hand anyway.
Yeah. And now Joe's going to bet. And unfortunately, Barry has caught a pair where he can call now. And Bo bet, and Joe bets 500, and that's just not going to be enough. I mean, what is the pot now, Dave? It's about a $2,500 pot, 500 for Barry to call now, something like that.
Honestly, it's a pretty easy call, I imagine, because there's just too many draws out there. If the clubs weren't out there and it's not 7-4, I mean,
Yeah.
Joe could have 5-6, Joe could have clubs. Joe obviously also could have a 7, and he has played it like he has a 7, but at this point,
Yeah, and he's going to call there, and I don't think that Joe really I mean, Joe needs to make a move on one of those streets, right? How do you check call, and then weekly bet on the river when you don't get there?
yeah, well, especially $500 into a $2,500 pot. You know?
No, I don't buy that one.
I might call him with ace high.
I mean, we saw him make a good move with the ace 3, but that one I think that he fudged a little bit there, Dave.
I mean, the only thing I will say is it's interesting. What happens if Barry doesn't hit his jack there?
Well, yeah.
Do you think the $500 bet works then? Do you think Barry calls him with queen high?
Probably not, but I mean, Joe doesn't know that Barry only has queen high, though. I mean,
No, you got to put Barry on. I would imagine you put Barry on pocket jacks or pocket queens, and that's a big pot Joe just lost.
Yeah, it is.
Joe just pretty much gave away about $1,700.
It was a $600 bet on the turn. He got raised $400 on the flop.
And then plus another $500 on the
plus whatever the pre-flop. Yeah, $1,700 there. I don't.
Wow.
Like I said, he really fudged that hand.
And another pot for Barry.
Yeah, Barry.
He's by far our big winner tonight.
Huge winner tonight.
Mr. Barry Woods. Taking it down.
You know, I don't know. I mean, if Joe had bet the turn, if he check called the raise, and then when a club didn't come on the turn, he bet the turn, that might have been the best play. Although we've seen Barry make ridiculous calls a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Or a couple months ago against Gore, so you never know.
Wow.
Two people have got flush draws, Mo and Russ. And it gets checked around. The turn is a deuce.
You know, when I first looked at that, I actually thought the queen of clubs was a queen of spades. I got really excited.
Mo's going to bet 60 here with ace 3. Russ is going to make the call.
Russ has got the
9
gut shot as well.
Yeah. Joe, I think he's in shock from the hand before. I don't know what he's thinking right now.
And Joe is an excellent limit hold'em player.
Right.
And no limit for him is a new for it. It's kind of a new little venture for him.
Yeah.
Tonight, obviously, not very successful. Made a great bluff earlier.
Well, what is he doing now?
And I think the problem with
he's
Joe
gonna
is, and a
muck it.
lot of new players think this, he's trying to win every hand he's playing.
Right. Well, the river's a queen. Mo didn't get there. Let's see if he continues out with the bet. Trying to figure out how much can I bet. Oh, look at this. Mo checks, and Russ bets. He bets 100, Dave.
And the pot is how much before that?
Probably... There was probably 100 in there. And look at this Mo. He's got a call with ace high. Again, what instincts by Mo.
Yeah, you know what? That's not... You can't read that in a book.
Yeah.
That's just a hell of a call.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because the pot wasn't that big. I mean, the pot was actually, I think it was about 180. So the pot was 280. He was getting about 2.5 to 3 to 1 odds in that call.
Ace high, yeah.
Wow, and Barry, we're getting word he has $11,000 in front of him.
Wow.
How much did he start with? 4,000 or 5,000 tonight?
I think about 5,500 tonight he started with. I'm going to guess.
What a great session,
And he's
huh?
doubled up now. He's literally doubled his... He bought it 5,500 and now he's 11,000.
That's what I just said.
Wow.
Anything else you raise? Anything else?
That's a great call by Mo.
I bet 60 he does call, and it looks like he's on draw.
And I'll tell you, I really think that's Joe's problem tonight, is he made that first move on Jav when Jav had ace king, and it was a great play by him.
And then he got a lot of confidence, the fact that he could just keep bluffing.
Right, and the problem is you have to be able to have the discipline to throw the hand away and have the patience, because you don't have to win every pot you're involved in. And Joe is trying to do that.
Yep.
He's trying to win every single one.
Dave, we got a flop here. It was limped around. Queen 10-3. 3 players have top pair. Mo, Jav, and Mark. And look at this. And look at this. Mo, excuse me, second pair. Mo throws his hand away. Well, that's a little bit less unremarkable then, because I thought it was top pair, but it's second pair. And now Jav's picked a flush draw up with the second pair. I'm surprised to see that Mark called there with 4 or 5 people to act behind him there with Jack 10 on the flop, right?
Yeah.
You know.
Nice bet by Jav there to take it down. He did not have the best hand. His kicker would have played. And needed to bet to win that one, and he did. Uncanny instincts there by Mo to call with ace high. I mean, try picking up a no-limit hold'em book there, and just, what chapter is that?
Well, I think it's the chapter of experience.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Look at that. This is the biggest night Barry's had since he's been here, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Except maybe that night when he called down Gore with that big bluff.
Right. Yeah, that was a $4,000 or $5,000.
And Mark still has $400.
Yeah.
You just want to tap on Mark's shoulder and go, we've got a great $200 buying game over here.
Yeah. I mean, it's a question of more bang for your buck, right? Why would you want to sit in a game with $400 with the blinds are 10-20 when he can sit with $500 in a game when their blinds are 5-5?
I mean, the next lowest guy has $2,800.
Yeah.
I mean...
And Barry's really on a roll. He's got pocket kings.
Raise it.
He's going to raise.
$40.
He raises $40. He doubles the big blind, Dave.
Hey, look, it's effective, though. It's a tight enough table that it gets out 3 or 4 guys.
Russ is going to call over there with Queen 4 suited. Small blind's in there with 4-7 offsuit. And Mark, why not? He's got Jack 6 offsuit. Oof.
Yeah, I don't even call for $5 more with Jack 6.
No. Here we go. King Jack 9. Barry's flop top set.
Russ
has got a flush draw, yep.
Plus a gut shot.
Barry checked the top set, it looked like.
Wow, that's dangerous with that kind of flop.
Well, and now if Russ bets, you better think that you should check raise here, Dave.
It's a huge flop for Queen 4 of hearts.
Yeah. I would think that you really would want to check raise here.
And Mark's got second pair with no kicker.
Yeah. He's going to mock. I mean, if I was Barry, I would check raise huge.
Not even a question. You got to check.
I mean, this is like one of those cases, David, we sometimes talk about where the flop is so coordinated that you try to go for a check raise so that you can bet so much people off of the draws as opposed to just betting right out from early position.
Yeah, exactly. And we can see this. He's got 4 10s and 8 other hearts. So he's got 12 outs.
And he is going to raise. So... Because, Dave, if Barry just threw out like a little bet, he might not be able to get people off the draws. But if he check raises...
Without a doubt. We saw that with Kathy Liebert the other day when the guy threw a little $25 bet in her. She said, okay, I'll smooth call 25.
He's check raised 500 more. It was a $100 bet, I believe, on the flop. And he's check raised 500 more. Now what do you do with Queen 4?
Well, Russell's got a lot of outs, he's got to think. He goes, okay, any heart for me?
9 hearts, 4 10s, 13 outs.
Only 8, actually. 10 hearts is obviously not duplicated.
Right.
And he doesn't obviously know that the Barry has a king of hearts.
Next Friday?
But 11 or 12 outs, Russ is not in that bad shape. Although obviously Barry has redraws, even if Russ hits his hands.
How much did you win? How much did you win?
Well, of course, if Barry's going to check raise here, Dave, you almost think that he might even have a set.
How much did you win?
So it's you got to decrease your odds by a lot.
Yeah, you could put him on Ace King, I suppose, but
I think Russ is gonna.
You might even put him on Queen 10 already. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
And that's a good lay down there. And one of the reasons it's also a good lay down in terms of draws, obviously you can look at it and go, well, if he's got 11 outs or so, or 12 outs, he's going to hit that maybe, 38, 39% of the time. He might have the odds to call. But that's $500 to see the turn.
Right.
You imagine what Barry's going to charge him for the river.
Makes a small little raise, hoping someone will re-raise him. No one did it. Pops the set. It's a flush draw, straight
And
draw.
Barry wins another.
Someone bets for him. Okay, I'm going to raise now. Okay.
Now I know that you have one I'm bluffing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ace king offsuit, seat 2. Russ?
The next time you do that, I'll go
I'll tell you, with the shades and that shirt
He
and
just
that
limps, Dave.
cigar,
He limps in position there. Wow, that's a little bit strange. Joe's limped in there with pocket 6s.
That's what I'm saying.
And I can see the limp ace king in early position, but late position.
yeah, I don't. I want to get more money in there, and I want to get rid of the stragglers.
Well, he's picked up, top pair here.
Right, and you got lucky that it's not ace
Right.
10 deuce or ace 8 deuce, and it's actually ace 9 deuce.
Right. Plus the fact that he hasn't made any more money because he didn't raise pre-flop. So he's just going to win a limped pot. He's betting the size of the
Right.
pot.
Joe might have called a $60 bet
Yeah,
raise.
absolutely. Yeah. And Russ takes it down.
No, thank you, sir.
So we got about 10, 15 minutes left, Dave. We're going to be back tomorrow night for another game.
See if maybe we can get the 61-20 limit game going.
Yeah, again, we've kept this month open in terms of scheduling. Yosh is supposed to work with us on getting one of the higher Hold'em games.
Well, we've got a big limit Hold'em tournament tomorrow, so starting at 4:15.
Is it limit tomorrow?
It is limit.
Okay.
So,
So that might be able to come through.
and if we can get enough players out by 5:30, maybe we can do
limit,
it.
Yeah.
That's a call. That's a call.
That's two players.
He took the chin back. That's a call.
And a lot of kings represented here. We'll see.
175.
He got confused. He didn't like it.
Time.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't do anything.
Seat 2 here has raised. Seat 3, excuse me, Dave. He's raised to 175. He's got 5-8 suited.
Now this one makes a little more sense. Last time he raised it with 7-8 of hearts, he was in the small blind.
8-9 of hearts, yes.
And I really don't like that. This play, at least, he's got
Right. He's got 6-8 suited there.
6-8 suited. At least he's on the button here. I mean, he's in the cutoff seat. He bought himself the button, and he's got control of the pot.
And Joe's going to make the call here, which is becoming even more hated than ace-10 offsuit for me, king-queen offsuit.
And look at that flop for 6-8.
4-7-8. He's picked up backdoor flush draw,
Gut shot.
straight draw, and he leads for 1,000.
That's a big bet. Wow.
1,000.
What's the pot? 350?
Yeah, something like that.
What's the point of that bet?
Well, yeah.
I don't admire my.
Don't quite get it.
The funniest thing is that Joe is bound to bluff him maybe if he throws in like a little $200 bet.
Right.
But with a $1,000 bet, you can't bluff him.
Anything less you would call. Actually, I did want to call. I thought you'd take it.
And we are live at the bike at the Bicycle Casino in Bell Gardens, California, about 10 miles south of Los Angeles. Got crazy action here, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And if you come in, I will buy you a drink.
Bell
if I'm here.
Gardens, the city where legends were made.
Raise to 100.
That sounds good. I like that. Did you just make that up yourself?
C2 is raised to 100 with ace-king suited.
And
Joe's got Jack-10 off.
out of position.
Yeah, he's going to make the call. And I bet you Mo's not, though, with King-Jack offsuit.
And he also is out of position.
Yeah,
and he
he's-
mucks it.
He's going to muck it. Well, there's a difference. Well, ace, king 4-10. Might get Joe in trouble here, Dave.
Yeah, I really like Joe's game. I'm good friends with the guy, and he's a great limit hold'em player.
Yeah.
But
Oh, he's going to check call
Yeah,
with
he-
Jack-10. And the turn is an ace, and it gets worse.
And he's picked up a queen.
Look at this. He's going to bet.
200.
He's going to bet 200.
He's hoping the ace is a scare card.
Well,
I smooth call this.
Really?
Let him bluff it away. Yeah, let him bluff.
Well, I think Joe's putting in kind of a stop bet there, though. He's got queen.
I don't mind it.
He's making a bet to see if he can catch a queen.
Right.
It doesn't come.
Yeah, but let's see what Joe does here. Let's see if Joe's going to. Oh
wow! Russ checked it down at the end.
That's amazing.
I think Russ was scared of Queen Jack.
Yeah, but there's no way Joe's going to check it down the river. If
Well, you're not going to smooth call on the turn if you're not going to bet it on the river, right?
No, that's
No,
the whole point of smooth calling it on the turn.
Right.
Is because you're hoping that he'll bluff into you one more time.
Right,
if he
right.
doesn't bluff into you one more time, well, then I can bet on the button.
Right.
Wow.
He's first on the board.
Well, Joe named his price for the turn in the river. I'll say that.
And Joe's out of there. Oh, look at it! Who comes in? Mike.
Corporation.
I know, huh?
Corporation Mike. That's his new name.
If he didn't have such a friendly smile, he'd look like a convict.
The guy with the glasses. Who talks kind of funny.
He's also a really, really nice guy.
These are all crazy.
You know.
I beat him up in poker. I was up like $2 or $3 grand. He wanted to go. He was stuck, so he's losing a bunch of money. So
Kind of the ongoing theme. We can always find Mike and his mother at a poker table and at the Bicycle Casino. It's great.
Are you serious?
4 players.
Pot's limped around here. Here we go with the
Chopped it
flop.
once every time he killed me.
Ace, Jack, Ace.
Barrett's got 2 pair, and he's going to check it. Wow.
In position.
Yeah, it's a strange check.
Queen
That's
comes
the,
out.
That's the third spade, too.
Yeah, are you so scared that somebody's sandbagging an ace? My goodness. The river's a deuce. And now he's going to bet. Now he bets, Dave.
Bet 20.
Now, he might actually get a call. Well, say maybe he'll get a call from Russ here. Well, Allen's called with pocket 6s. And Russ overcalls with the pocket 7s, Dave. Oh, my God. And the jack is good. Well, Barry got value out of that bet there at the end.
That's amazing.
My mom hit the jackpot.
To be honest with you, I'm really surprised by the play of everybody there. First of all, you check that kind of flop, ace, jack, ace. Why wouldn't you bet it in position, right? And then you finally bet it on the river, okay? You get a call out of Allen, okay.
Yeah.
How can you overcall if you're Russ? What do you think, Allen? What do you think? Barry's got nothing and Allen's got a pair of deuces?
Right. That's...
It's funny. Maybe Russ saw Mo call him down with ace high and win the pot. He figured, hey, maybe I can do it.
Well, Mike's buying in for the minimum, which is...
$10, $20 chips, honestly.
I think like Mike and Jesus and those guys and Patrick, they got gambling styles. They'll bring 5,000, but they only do it 1,000 at a time.
Well, they know themselves. They know they're going to gamble up.
Right.
They don't want to lose it all.
Well, I
in
think
one
they
shot.
like to push in a lot, I think is what it is,
Well, when you have a smaller stack, obviously there's less poker playing in the sense that you can just move in. You don't have to think about it as much.
Really? You bought the button.
God. Everything's red.
4, 4, 5. So Mike there in seat 9, he's got a wheel draw.
Mo's got 2 pair.
Mo's got 4s and 5s.
One more.
Gets checked on the turn's a king. Now Mike has a flush draw with the wheel draw, and he's going to bet out.
Yeah, Barry's picked up top pair now. He's got 2 pair at the king.
It's a $100 bet. And let's see what Barry does here. He's going to make the call.
He's playing the player also here.
Oh, let's see the river. River's a 10.
Check.
And it's going to get checked down.
Ace high. Kings.
Barry's going to take it down again. Boy, when's the last time we've seen the guy lose a pot?
1983. It's amazing. He is just on fire.
Thank you.
Looks like Rod's getting a massage there. The massages here are great, and you can get them real cheap.
Dave, this is going to be the last hand tonight. Of course, we will be back tomorrow. Same time, same channel, 6 o'clock Pacific to 10 o'clock.
Same bat channel, same bat time.
Of course, we will be webcasting a high-action, high-stakes live cash game. A little upsetting to see that Jesus left so early tonight. But
Oh, he was taking a bath.
yeah.
I just hope he's not discouraged and he comes back next week.
4 players.
Four-way action. Pot is limped around ace, jack, 10. 2 diamonds. Mike has got queen, 10. Looks like that's the
Wow,
best
on the
hand.
button, he doesn't bet that.
Turns an 8. And now he's double gutted, actually. Catch up king or a 9. And Mark actually had the best hand with ace 5. He bet. And the river's a 7. And ace 5 is good.
Mark takes it down.
Well, Dave, that is going to do it for us tonight. We had a pretty nice night. We had Min Win stop by. Got a nice little interview there. And had some pretty crazy action. Of course, the big winner tonight was Barry Woods. He started off with a little over 5,000, and now he has a little over 11,000. And the big loser was Jesus. He lost about 10,000.
Yeah.
So, quite a night.
Crazy night.
Quite a night tonight. So please join us tomorrow, of course, 6 o'clock Pacific time. For David Tuckman and everyone here in the booth, I'm Bart Hansen. Good night, everybody, from Live at the Bike.
It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the Bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.